camera's on! Hello, everybody, and welcome to Grinds My Gears. I am the small dude, and I guess this is the right camera now, isn't it? There's a time and a place for everything, and the time for that was not then. It's now. Do you get it? I'm doing the wrong camera at the wrong time, but it's the right time because it's funny, isn't it? It's funny. Do you get what's going on? Is this too much? Should I slow this down? Hello, everybody, and welcome to Grinds My Gears with me, the small dude. I'll be your host today. Now, what's going on? What's going on in this show? Come on, everybody! Today, you're going to be calling me on this phone here, okay? And this is a funny show, by the way, because Yaru Gandam in the chat there says, I laughed. That's what he said. He said he laughed. And then Cackle cried in the chat. That's modern day crying, that sound. Okay, so what's going on? People are going to be calling into this phone right here and talking to me. That's what this show's about, ladies and gentlemen. It's Grinds My Gears. You can tell me what's grinding your gears today. You can tell me what's bothering you. You can tell me what you think about the news, what's going on in the news. And you can also tell me, don't forget, something nice, something good that's going on. Don't be afraid to do that. Oh my god, Jonathan Shadow with the $2. There it is. He says, quick chat, small dude. Sad face? Okay. I think Jonathan has some bad news. Oh no! I mean, oh yay, but oh no. Harjas says, today sucks. I won't join today. What's happened today? Is there something global sadness that I don't know about, that I haven't heard about? Stay tuned to find out, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so this show is when people log into the Discord server. The link is in the description. I forgot to put the link in as a pinned comment, but whatever. People find it. Link in the description. Join the Discord. Join the show. I'll be taking calls. You can talk about whatever you want. Anything. Can you very slowly demonstrate picking up and showing the camera phone again? I didn't get all that. Well, that's the thing. You got to pay attention, you know? Things go faster. And a lot of different songs, a lot of different sound effects and cameras, things like that. So you really got to pay attention, okay? You can't be watching Netflix and watching this show. You got to do one or the other. And I suggest this one. Okay? So did I explain that well enough? People call in, we talk. That's the show. Anna Ray in the chat says, watched your entire video on the new Tony Hawk game and just had to tell you what a masterpiece it is. Wondering how many hours of research beforehand did that video take? Thank you, Anna Ray. The amount of hours of research it took, I started researching it while making the video, which is not how research generally works. I had 1 or 2 points I wanted to make, and then I just kept looking up stuff. And the more stuff I looked up, the longer the video became. How many hours in total was that? I have no idea, and I don't care to know because it was more than I'd care to admit. But it took about 2.5 months, I think, in total. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, well that's not what I intended to talk about there. I got hypnotized by the live chat because before we get into the phone calls today, ladies and gentlemen, before we start talking to you on the phone, which is what this show is, you know damn well that we have to do the monologue. Okay. Hello. Is this thing on? Hello? This is the monologue, ladies and gentlemen. Funny stuff before the show starts. Okay, folks. So you know how they say anger is weakness? They say that anger is a broken man's last resort, an attempt to control external circumstance through violent force. Of course, no man can control the world. It's a delusional notion to think that aggression can facilitate a harmonious relationship between oneself and one's surroundings. Anger creates discordance. It is not a strength. It is a weakness of someone who has lost control of themselves and blames the world for it. That's what they say anyway. But all of that is total bullshit, and I want to stab the person who came up with that nonsense. I want to grab their eyeballs and squish their stupid head with my hands, and I want to plunge a big fat knife into their throat and pull out their vocal cord, and I want to scream into it. And I want to say, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. I hate whoever came up with that. In other news, the Eagles are considering getting back together to perform music concerts in Spain. And finally, Manchester United are currently placed 5th in the Premier League. They've got a good chance of winning the Premier League this year if they can get some young talent into the starting 11. Okay, that's it for the monologue. Time to get into the show. Hello. Alrighty, now, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, this thing. Phone calls. Okay, so join the Discord, if you dare, and we will talk about interesting things, okay? Let's see, interesting things. You like that? Let's see who's on first. It's gonna be this guy, okay? Also, super chat $5 donation to get on the show quicker than you otherwise normally would. Okay, we've got our first call coming in here. Hello, caller, can you hear me? Your microphone's muted. I can see that on the interface. I can see on the interface that your microphone is muted.
Going on.
I'm hearing rumblings of something here, ladies and gents. This is how the show starts. It's always the worst at the beginning, and it gets better. I guarantee you. It's always terrible at the start, and then it gets better. I'm serious about that.
Ooh, I can't hear anything. What the hell's going on?
You can't hear me? Uh-oh. I can hear him, so I hope he doesn't start saying his MetaMask wallet password. That would be embarrassing and cringe, wouldn't it? Considering he thinks that I can't hear him and he can't hear me, but I can actually hear him. Bappa Booey says, I loved the part where the red phone made noise. Oh, good. You'll be hearing much more of that. Stay tuned. I'm glad that's the part of all this that you liked. Hunk World says it's Jover.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now?
I can. I could always hear you. Could you always hear me?
No, I couldn't. There was something going on.
There was something going on. Oh, hey, what's going on? Jeb Reggie with the $2 says, fun show. Unfortunately, I have a class on Mondays. No, Jeb. No, Jeb. Skip class. You got it. You have to drop out of high school. Well, I don't know what class you have. Maybe you've got a cooking class, maybe. Maybe you're on the GMT time zone and you've got a night class. Jeb Reggie, thanks for the $2. And sorry you can't be with us here. Rest in peace, Jeb. But we have on the phone, who am I talking to now?
Yeah, it's me, dude. How's it going?
You can't say it's me, Jonathan. The people, I'm pretending I don't know who you are. Okay?
No, because sorry. Mi llamo Jonathan. Yo vivo en este país.
Oh my God.
Es muy mal. No es bueno.
Okay, this guy's muy mal. I shouldn't be joking around pretending I don't know who he is, because this guy's muy mal. For the white pasty Brit tards out there in the audience, that means very bad. Jonathan, why are you doing very bad?
Yeah, it's not great. Oh, you know what you said to Jeb? That's very true. You're actually giving him good advice, because you know the Western school system is based on the Prussian system. Are you aware of that?
What? Yeah, of course I am, but explain to the audience who doesn't know what the hell that means.
Let them do their research, because they've got critical thinking. A lot of them are autismos. They know what to do. They can find the black pills or the depression stuff.
The Prussians?
Yes, the Prussians. Yeah.
I didn't know Prussia still existed. I thought that was like Czechoslovakia, that they just they scribbled that out of the history books.
It's not Czechoslovakia. Hey, I'm gonna update you on your memes because you were a bit like naive with some stuff when people say it, you don't know what it is. Can I give you a bit of
Oh,
like
did I
information on
miss
it?
something there? Was there a coded message that I that I wasn't picking
No,
up
no, this
on
is
there?
previously. So every time I do I don't know poems because things weren't great past 2 weeks or so. But yeah. Anyways, when I do the poems at the end, the last sentence, Alex is a stupid.
And then you
That
said the letter
phrase,
N. Yes.
yes, the N, yeah, nuclear, AC-130 incoming. Um, that phrase is from a guy. Have you heard of a guy called DJ Killer Keemstar?
Oh yes, of course I know. Garden gnome extraordinaire. Keemstar. I
Yes,
mean
that's
I've never
him.
watched him, but I know the gist of drama alert. Let's get
Yeah, that comes from
right into
him.
the news. He's British.
Yeah, he's not. No, he's American, dude. He
No,
ain't
I was just
British.
joking. I was joking. I do know.
Oh, okay, sorry.
See, see, maybe I know more than you think I do.
Are you familiar with Papa Franco? Yes.
No, I don't know what. I don't know. I don't get it. Papa
You
Franco?
never heard of Filthy Frank?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay, I say the words and you don't. Okay.
You got to be careful. You know,
Um,
some things I know, and then some things you think it's obvious, and then I don't know. Okay, so
yeah.
Keemstar said the N word to Filthy Frank.
No, he said it to a guy called Alex. I don't know why. He doesn't like Alex for some reason. I actually don't know the law on that, but he hates him.
Oh, okay. So that's why that's what you were referencing in your poems. Okay.
That's the reference.
I
Yeah.
thought I
Yeah,
thought
there's
you had
other.
a friend called Alex who was watching the show, and you were just paying a homage to him. Jonathan, what's going on? Why are you bad?
I mean, that's quite like. It's just like existential stuff. Like for example, like when I'm going out and if I go to the animal sanctuary and I'm there, I'm aware that the animals are in a better place, but at the same time, I'm aware that they're in there because of really, really bad people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, this is like, you know, you can have spaghetti bolognese for dinner, and it can be a nice simple meal. But then you can start thinking of how they kill those animals, and things can get a bit grisly when you're just trying to have a simple, pleasurable moment.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly the same, but yeah, a little
Are
bit.
you
Yeah.
aware of how the mince for spaghetti bolognese is made? I don't want to.
I mean,
I don't want
it's
to give
me.
you a black
No.
pill here.
No, it's not a black foot. Look, dude, the thing is, if you have a dog, so if the world went to crap, you and your dog, or me and my dog, would go out and would have to hunt for things, right?
Yes.
Like rabbits, rodents, whatever, to feed and like food and whatever. So
Well, obviously I would
understand
eat
that.
him, but yeah, hypothetically, sure.
Well, you wouldn't because he would help you because it's a symbiotic relationship, right? So you'd hunt together. He'd protect you and this, that, the other, right?
Okay. Oh, he's muted his mic. I think he's been silenced by Will Smith from I Am Legend, he's spilling the beans because Will Smith is working on I Am Legend 2, and he's saying, Jonathan, don't spoil the plot. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this show is going to keep you in suspense. Callers muting their mic mid-call, telling you that they're moi mal, using bilingualism to demonstrate their feelings, and now he's gone. What the hell happened, everybody? What the hell's going on? I'm showing you the absence of Jonathan. Look, there's the phone, and there is me. Now, why can't we just have one of those two things? I don't know. But I'm showing you the absence of Jonathan, that he is not there. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Will we ever find out the story of Jonathan? What happened to him at the animal sanctuary? Will we ever know? Will it ever transpire? And Tito with the $2 says they shut him down. Yeah, what was he trying to say about Beyond Meat? Isn't that the Bill Gates Beyond Meat? I don't know where to begin with that thought, ladies and gentlemen. It must be a British thing. Something British must have happened to him. Hanzo says they didn't want him to tell the truth about spaghetti. Well, there you have it, folks. The truth about spaghetti will not be revealed just as of yet. We're going to get another caller on. Anna Ray says, "Small dude, do you know Sam Hyde and his content? I am become part of Sam Hyde and his content. Check out his funny video, the Labubu video, because I edited that, and I edit the ads for the Sam Hyde show. So you could say I'm familiar, all right. Okie doke, let's get on to the next call. Who's it gonna be, ladies and gentlemen? Could be anyone from anywhere doing anything. What is this?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, small dude. Good to hear you again.
Good to hear you. Tell the people what your name is, gentlemen.
My name is George.
Your name is George, aka Jorge de España. We're not all Spanish here today, folks. George is a U.S. citizen, isn't that right, George?
Nope. Eastern European.
I mean, listen, it was a good guess. There was a 90% chance that was going to be correct. Are you not a U.S. citizen?
Nope.
Where are you from?
Pure European. Never been. Bulgaria.
Oh, Bulgaria. Okay, yes. You're listen, I'll never remember the nationality and name and voice of everyone on this show, so I'll just say that George is a white man from the US, just like me.
Sure, we can go with that.
And just like everybody in the chat and just like everybody on Reddit, we are all white US citizens. George, what is grinding your gears today?
Something that you once brought up in your conversation with the synthetic man.
Oh.
In there, you mentioned that there was a comment where, in the joke, where you said, just because I made a joke that I'm only 28 and living in my grandmother's house, people wrote down comments of the sort, "Oh, then your argument is invalidated. You don't know what you're talking about." They don't judge the merit of your ideas. Yeah. They judge you based on what your social and economic situation is.
And what I specifically find funny about that is, like, who is the one writing that comment? So it's like someone says to me, I make a video and they say, "Yeah, well, forget about what this guy says. He lives in his grandmother's house." And it's like, where do you live? What age are you? Are you like a 28-year-old with your own house? Tell me how, like, what did you do to get that kind of life? Who is living good right now, you know?
Yes, that's precisely what I mean. And it's frustrating because we live in a period where there's mass social alienation. People are scared. They don't know what to do, how to fix modern problems. Politicians don't seem to care. And last time we spoke, I talked about the fertility crisis because it's something that I'm thinking about. I read a few comments. Some people were supportive and others were, "Oh, he's an Eastern European IT guy." So, yeah, sure, but no one else is talking about it. And that's last time when I talked, what was grinding my gears back then was that no one was talking about the issue. But then when someone does talk about it, people judge you based on your social circumstance. And that's really grinding my gears today.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you could talk about infinitely, which almost makes me like exhausted thinking about it, because it can go for anything. So it's like, let's say, you know, you're saying an idea that I don't agree with, and I'm like, "Well, George, where do you live?" And you're like, "I live in an apartment." "Oh, he lives in an apartment. That's not a very good place to live." And then you're like, "No, I was only joking. I live in a mansion." They're like, "Oh, well, now this guy's too rich. He's so rich that he can't relate to us." And like, if you do hit the perfect spot of what they want you to be, then it'll be your voice that is like whiny and annoying, or it'll be like your physique. You're not ripped enough. You know, there's an infinite amount of things that people can say, like, "Well, you're this, you're Bulgarian, so your point is invalid." And if you really want to have like a proper discussion about anything with anyone, that is not the way to do it. So I think my takeaway from that is these are just not the people you want to be talking with at all. And you can kind of avoid that in your life. Like, you can avoid having to talk to those people But the unfortunate thing is that those people actually just exist whether you talk to them or not. And they're going around having jobs, raising kids, and being teachers in schools. That's the part that concerns me, is that they're kind of running this world with this silly idea that like you're just
Funny
nothing.
you should mention that, because I was gonna bring that up. Because if you've noticed, most people only say that if they don't agree with you. As a popular example, Karl Marx, he lived like a degenerate. He beat his wife, he cheated on her, he was having fights at bars, he was irresponsible with his money, he was lazy, he didn't do anything.
Shots fired.
Yet people listened to him.
Jeez.
Sorry?
Allegedly, okay, Karl Marx, if you're watching this, I don't know if he's a streamer or whoever that guy is, but don't sue me, Karl. Okay, anyway, go on.
But yeah, his ideas basically became the new religion of the developed world amongst the social alienation and whatnot. People listen to him like a gospel, and they see failures after failures with his ideology, but it's become faith-based. But it's not because of his own personal excellence. It's because of his ideas. And so when someone says, oh, modernity isn't working, mass liberalization, freedoms, expansion of rights and whatnot, people will immediately start to look at your personal life. Oh, what is he talking about? He's not advocating for nice things. What is he actually doing? So when it's uncomfortable, they start to asking questions.
Yeah, well, I guess these people are... the thing that I think about with that is, if you actually want to make significant change, or if you want to have an actual important conversation, the types of people who respond in those ways are never going to have an important conversation. They're just going to drag you down to the gutter. What's that famous phrase? Never argue with an idiot, because they'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. That's on fridge magnets everywhere. But it is true that if you're going to argue with stupid people, it actually just kind of reflects on you, because you just look like a stupid person by being around them. And I think... I think Jordan Peterson used to have a lot of good things to say, but his whole thing was debating people who have no chance at winning a debate. And he looked good because his ideas were correct, but his opponent looked very bad because they just could not articulate themselves. But the real strength in conversation will be when two people who are equally matched can get together and discuss these ideas articulately, instead of just like Twitter reply threads and the live stream comments on this stream when callers come on. This is not where great change will be made. The live stream chat probably. That's where funny things are said. But I think you get to have your time here, George, and so does anyone who's calling in. I think it might be a mistake to judge what comments say, because there's a lot of silent people watching, who you'll never hear from.
That is true, but it's important for discourse to keep that in mind. Hearts and minds change societies, and unfortunately, previously, it was Christianity that dictated a lot of things. Now it's sort of Marxism, because our society has fundamentally changed. Now, I'm not here to talk about anti-Marxist tirades or whatnot. This is just simply to convey my message that people need to not judge the person, the individual, for their shortcomings. I, for example, love Thomas Jefferson. He had fantastic ideas and was, in principle, and they would be ideal for most societies, I think. However, he himself didn't live off of those same principles he promoted. He had slaves until the day he died, and he had irresponsible money spending, which is the opposite of what he said. The free people, the yeoman, the self-sufficient, the organized, prosperous middle class that dictates values. Well, he himself was kind of an aristocrat in practice, even though he supposedly hates aristocracy. That doesn't diminish his ideas.
Well, here, Spazador with the $2 American is echoing what you just said. It's a matter of practicing what you preach, and I think that is the ultimate thing. Is that words are just like a vessel for things that are very hard to understand. Like words are so small, and even the most effective and the most well-worded argument is still just like a fraction of what the idea actually is. And doing things is so much more expensive than talking, which is cheap. And it really is the people who can do and then tell you about it that are important, rather than the people who, like you're saying, the people who just like watch a video and say, this guy's too poor for me to listen to him. Like, talk is actually unbelievably cheap, especially now. Anyone can talk, which I guess makes it all the more important to, well, I don't want to say not listen to some people, but the volume of thoughts that are coming your way is so massive that you really do have to like not listen to a lot of it, most of it probably. Yeah, it's hard to say that, because that does mean that you're like kind of making yourself deaf to what the other side thinks. But yeah, really, like there has to be a giant filter on your ears when you're listening to the thoughts of internet users. Do you write comments? Are you a comment maker, George?
Very rarely. I'm not really one to comment on videos or on anything really, unless it's something that I know has a smaller community. I kind of like writing in smaller communities because I hate the idea of the message being drowned. So I always value communities that are smaller because voices matter more, which is something that I always preach. Smaller communities.
Yeah, I would be the same. That I actually, that's a great way to put it. I don't comment on things, but for a small, let's say for a small YouTube channel, I'm like, oh, there's a very good chance that the person who made this is gonna read it. I either have something that I agree with or disagree with, or something to add that like wasn't in the video, and knowing that you saying it is gonna be heard is like an important thing for me. Whereas I don't understand dropping like a comment in a sea of 10,000 comments. Like, who is reading that? I don't know. It's the person who's reading that is probably only going to be someone who's trawling through the new comments of a video, which I've just never been the type to do. But yeah, like you said, in a small community, your voice is heard more. And also, I think as a creator, it's kind of, I've found it important to be an appropriate size, because I don't think anything I have to say should be said in stadiums necessarily. I don't think I should be in a stadium doing this show right now. I think it would have much more of an impact with like the amount of people who are watching it. And yeah, just like the audience gets diluted. And I do notice that with like my own videos, when they bring in people from outside, that the actual consensus of the people who are watching changes, and it changes like the discourse around it. But it's also important not to remain in such a small community that you're just echoing the same, they could be bad ideas, and just like patting each other on the back. Okay, George, well, thanks for coming on, sharing your thoughts. You seem like the type of guy who might have some closing comments here.
Yes, I actually do. What I said earlier is what I think about society in general. Urban life, where concentration of so many people in Dublin or Berlin or London, they destroy communities at a massive scale. Ireland wasn't Dublin, and nor was England ever London. However, with modern mass urbanization, this thing that you mentioned, where voices are drowned out, happens to the entire nations now. It's no longer Ireland, it's Dublin. It's no longer Germany, it's Berlin. It all is dictated. Regional dialects destroyed, villages destroyed. Every small community is absorbed into the hive mind of urban universities that dictate culture. That's why it's becoming such a brown mess, and that's why I always advocate smaller communities. Keep it clean, keep it simple, try to avoid depopulating your small village if you have one. That's what's happening everywhere. There's still land. Do not abandon your ancestral homes to be absorbed by the hive. Just like in the YouTube comments. Try to comment on smaller communities.
Yeah, man, that actually does speak. That idea does go through a lot of things that I always take it back to this idea of like, what was a human built to do? And a human wasn't built to be in a city, wasn't built to be surrounded by concrete, wasn't built to be surrounded by people from all over the world. Like, you know, the natural organism of what we are is supposed to be in a relatively small community of like 100 people or whatever Dunbar's number is probably. And that is what our bodies like want. That's what we're supposed to be living like. And so yeah, the further we get from that, it's important to realize that this is not the way it was supposed to be. We were never supposed to be able to connect with communities this large. Okay, so George, thank you for coming on. I had to get my brain in action there. I was prepared for a silly conversation about nothing important. But it was the exact opposite. Thanks for coming on, George.
That's the benefit of your community, the small dude. The small community.
Hell
Always
yeah.
a pleasure.
We'll stay small forever. Never grow. We will never grow. Beyond this point, I will delete new subscribers. All right, George, talk to you later.
See ya.
There we go, folks. Whoa. What a start to the show. Now, as I said earlier, usually this show is terrible at the very start, and it takes a good hour until anything good happens. I don't know why. It starts off janky, but here we are, rocking and rolling in the free world, talking about the big stuff straight off. Bapa Booey says, on a similar note, it's sad the internet is so wide and vast, yet so many people converge on acting the same way. So many people I know in real life just sound like Redditors or YouTubers. It is crazy how wide and vast the internet is, and you can talk to any average person and we all, like, all the memes are the same, all the celebrities that people know are the same. Like, you can talk to someone who you've never met and be like, hey, have you seen this thing on the internet? And they're like, yep. How is that possible? You know, like, Is that what you said? I feel like I got on my own points there, and I'm using the guise of your comment to pretend like I agree. Yeah, people converge on acting the same way. Even just in the internet as a whole, all the kind of lingo that we use, like saying, "Whoa, bro has a red phone." You know, that's not a niche thing to say. Everyone in the world knows that little linguistic thing. Bro has XYZ. Bro thinks he is XYZ. Now, I don't think I'm XYZ. That's just an example. And someone said there it was... okay, I'll get your name. I should just call you a commenter. But Hangman DVD says, I only read new comments. The top comments suck now. And yes, because I was saying I don't know who's looking through new comments. I wouldn't do that. But I actually take that back. Because I've just stopped looking at comments in general because the top comments are so bad. And it wasn't always like that. Top comments used to speak the thoughts of me. I used to look at the top comments and be like, yeah, that's what I thought. But now I look at the top comments and I'm like, it's I don't know how to describe it, but like the top comments on YouTube videos are like really unsubstantive. And you don't get any satisfaction from reading it. You actually just feel like you waste your time. And I think they just sound like default thoughts. And even on my own videos, sometimes like the top comment, I'm like, that's the top comment? Because like I see the comments on my own video and a lot of the time I'm like, wow, there's like really, not a lot of the time, sometimes there's really good comments. And like they just get lost. I'll go onto like the watch page of the video and then the top comments are these like very kind of plain ones. And I'm like, huh? I saw some good stuff here. So anyway, that's a little clap there to make you think that what I said was really good and important. But it actually was. Okay, folks, we're going to go to a new call. A brand new call on the telephone, and we are going to see what the voice down the line says. Now, I am going to go for a new person because I want to see what it... well, I don't know if there's a new person. I can't actually see anything here. I think this is the person I want to talk to. We'll see.
Yo,
What's going on, my man? Who's happening
what's
with you,
up,
my
bro?
brother?
Hey, bro, what's going on, man? Shit.
Yo, man, what the...
No, I'm doing good, bro.
my
How are you?
God.
Shit, man.
Here with ZR, his ear, talking on the telephone. Lego
Shit.
Maag says, thanks for making the funny video about the terrible Tony Hawk remake. Small dude, big laughs. Thank you, Lego. I appreciate that $5 and so glad to have made a soul smile in this dark world. Okay, now caller, who am I talking to?
Yo, what's up? I'm Alex from Cleveland, Ohio, baby.
No
you know
way.
it, repping the CLE.
You're from the place. What's the name of the black guy from the show that I like?
That's exactly right, actually. Yes.
Yes, it's exactly right. Is it
You would
spelled
not
the same way?
Not many people know that Seth MacFarlane was actually the inspiration for the name of the city. You know?
Yeah, because it used to
Little
be
known
called,
fact.
it used to be called Alexville, but then they changed it to
It
Cleveland.
was, yeah.
Now you wouldn't be
That
too happy about
motherfucker.
that.
He took it from me. That was mine, bro.
Yeah,
All
Alextown,
mine.
USA, Ohio. You'd love to live there,
Fuck
Alex. So, Alex, what's grinding your gears today?
What's grinding my gears, small dude? You know, I don't know how prevalent it is on your side of the pond, but in Cleveland, Ohio, there is a shit ton of stuff on sports betting. You know, they legalized it maybe like a year ago.
I had
in
no idea.
many states.
I had no idea where that sentence was gonna go, Alex. I'm just gonna tell you, we're talking about there's a lot of things that get talked about in this show, and when someone says,
Definitely.
I don't know how it is where you live, but where I live, there is a shit
Bit ominous,
ton
yeah.
of sports betting.
No, it's crazy. Like right before it got legalized in Ohio, just hundreds everywhere you would go. We're legalizing sports betting. We're legalizing sports betting. Everyone get excited. Yay. And then it comes out and everywhere. It's everywhere.
Is this a new thing?
Kinda. I mean, you could I don't know exactly everything, but it just kind of came into the air a couple of years ago when they were trying to. I mean, there was always sports betting. There was at like casinos and shit.
Well,
But now you can bet on any game anywhere right on your phone.
Yeah,
right in your pocket.
It's funny that you say that because we've had that here for like since the day I was born. That is a huge industry here, and
I didn't know that.
I went to I think I was in Spain. Like I lived in Spain for 2 years, and at one point I was like going, oh yeah. When I came back to Ireland, I just realized how like they don't have sports betting over there, and like I don't do that. I'm not interested in that. I don't want to lose money on some arbitrary match that is rigged.
No, not at all.
But
No,
like
I don't trust it enough, bro.
It hit me when I came back that like here, there's always been like as often as there's a convenience store, there is a sports betting place, and it's so just like ubiquitous with the city that I've never even thought about it. It's like saying I don't know what about like where you live, but we have traffic lights. It's like, yeah, we've got that too.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that. Shit.
So, I can't believe that they've never had that. So, like, would you have to go out of your way to bet on like a football match before?
I don't really know all the details before it got legalized because I'm only 21, so I couldn't do that shit anyway, and no one I knew did it.
Yeah.
But pretty sure like casinos and stuff, there was always like you could bet on racehorses, but only recently have they now legalized betting on like MLB, NBA, and NFL.
So is this just on your phone? Like there's no physical location to go?
Not that I know of. No, it's all on your phone.
Oh, because the thing that we have is that like we have physical locations where we have old alcoholic. You know what our system is? We have like a pub like a bar,
Yeah.
and then beside the
Yeah.
bar will be the sports betting place. Like they're always side by side. So you'll have people, and I don't know where they get the money from, but like you'll have people who just go to
Yeah.
the pub all day and get drunk, and then walk next door, gamble all their money, then go back to the pub, and then probably go home and beat their wives after that. But that's
Yeah, I
how
missed my
we-
parlay. Time to give my wife the parlay.
Yeah, I'm going to parlance with my wife now. That's how we fizzle and fade out in this country. Which is actually that's a bad sign for you, because generally it only gets worse when you introduce gambling. Oh, whoa! Sorry, I just pressed music on my keyboard. Yeah, when you introduce gambling into a society where it wasn't before, and the society never gets better; it always gets worse. Are you tempted to indulge in these activities?
Not one bit. Never.
And why? Because you think you'll lose money by making a bad bet?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make some stupid bet, lose $400, and be like, well, now I want to throw my phone through the wall. So, nah, sports. It's especially like the emotional connection. Now you're putting an emotional connection to the gambling. Because if you're really passionate, yeah, they're gonna win. I bet $5, $40. This guy's gonna do this. This guy's a lock, man. And then you don't, and you're like, fuck. And now it's another thing to get you riled up and get you. Oh man, that was so close. I'm gonna bet next week. I'll get it next week. They'll come back, because it's like you love your team, you love your local team, so you want them to win, and you think they're gonna win.
Or you're
so
like
you can
crazy into
put your heart into it.
statistics, and like you
Yeah.
you don't even have like a personal passion. You're just like, the numbers say that this guy's gonna score today, which, to be honest, it doesn't even matter if you're like passionate about the team or not. You're probably going to be wrong, because literally you're trying to predict the future, which is impossible. Literally the most impossible thing you can do on this planet is like say what's going to happen next. It is unfortunately it's that classic thing that stupid people think they're smarter than they are, and so they'll be like, I'm gonna be, yeah, I know this guy scored 40 goals last year, I'm gonna win. And smart people are like, nah man, I'm gonna lose all my money because I'm gonna be wrong. And that is the smartest thing you can think. So you're 21. You can only drink when you're 21, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So what's that experience?
you can
like, being restricted.
Drinking for the first time. I mean,
I mean, just kind of in general, the fact that like you've been restricted for this thing for so long. Like you've been an adult. Like, how does it feel when you actually turn 21?
Honestly, not like, it wasn't crazy. I mean, I can buy alcohol now, but I mean, I could get it before. It was never like locked off to me or anything. There's never like a huge. It wasn't easy to get, but you could get it.
How did you get it?
My friends usually my friends who had parents who would just leave their liquor out, and they would steal it, get drunk off that.
Such an unreliable system, because that's like gambling. That's just like, I'm gonna leave this up to the world to see. Has the little drink fairy left some liqueur for me tonight? Like, what if you got a party and you need alcohol by Saturday?
Someone would find it. So I definitely also had friends who their parents would just let them drink, and they didn't care because they're like Russian, and they just give my friend booze all the time. He could just get it easily. It was never too hard to find it. We always had ways. We always had friends who had families who didn't really care about that kind of thing.
So, but your friends would take drink off their parents, and then they would give it to you. They would share it with you.
Yeah.
That's unbelievably generous. Like, I mean.
Oh yeah.
You're clearly not from a nation of alcoholics, but like what happens here is that if someone gets drink and you put your finger on it, you're going to die. It's like, this is mine. I stole this from my parents. You should have stole drink from your parents if you wanted some. So what do you do with your time, since you're not drunk all the time like I am?
Well, I drink a little more. I've recently discovered that I quite like hard cider. That's like my drink of choice at this point. I don't really like the taste of alcohol because I'm a big pussy. So, I never really liked drinking that much. I enjoy it in every once in a while.
Yeah,
Get a little
man.
6-pack.
That is you've bought yourself years of life because look, I know that it's not the right thing for me to go on the internet and say how my nation is this stereotype of what you think it is, but really so many years of your life just get lost because you go to bars every weekend and you sit in a chair and drink a thing that makes you stupid and talk about the same things over and over again, and all that
and you
time
spend 500 on your favorite team and they lose it in the last second, and then you're like, well, I need another beer.
Yeah, so you lose all your money and you like spend it on something that does nothing, and it's if you add up how many days you spend doing that, it's probably going to be years by the end. So
I mean, they even then with advertising for alcohol, it's still fucking everywhere. Every few months, it's this new seasonal drink, dude. Try this new stupid seltzer that tastes like ass, dude. You'll get so drunk. Ha ha ha, dude. Yeah, Don't you love drinking all the time?
Yeah, it's weird when they start advertising it. Like, I do find that weird with like the sports betting, and like I get ads all the time, and it says, "Look at the Irish. Why don't you try downloading the sports betting app? You're gonna be lucky today."
Exactly.
And I'm like,
and if you spend $5, you get 300. You get 300. You get $200 in bonus bets. It's like, do they think we're dude, $300? I'm gonna win so much, and then you lose it all.
But I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is egregious. Yeah. Like, what if there was like this is at 2 p. This could be at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. What if there's a child in the room? You know, it's like I know no one cares about that, but it's not good for a kid to be listening to gambling ads and I thought it used to be
get them early
after 9 p.m. you put those ads on. Do you remember that? Was that ever a thing there?
I can't say, honestly.
It used to be on TV that you weren't able to promote anything like for adults until after 9 p.m. So if there was a horror film in the cinema, you would only ever see an ad for a scary movie after 9 p.m. But what's also funny about that is that means that after 9 p.m. on TV, all of the ads are for gambling and alcohol and horror movies. So if you do stay up past your bedtime as a kid, the ads suddenly get terrifying. So maybe it's not good to give kids one concentrated dose of fear. Yeah. Okay. Anything else on your mind today, Alex? Before I let you go.
One thing, the reason I got so enraged by this gambling stuff it finally boiled over, is like the MLB, Major League Baseball. You know, when someone gets caught gambling, they're banned. If they find out they're doing it, they're banned immediately. And yet that rule still persists when there's so many gambling ads everywhere. Even on they're announcing what players are playing. There's a gambling ad on the very bottom. Gambling ad. And we're still punishing these players for something we're promoting so heavily. And you know, one of the best players on our team is under investigation for that. And he's facing a ban for life, forever. And yet we don't care if our fans, you know, blow all their money on gambling because they love their phone and it's in their pocket all day. I just think it's hypocritical to do those things in tandem.
Yeah, I mean,
to punish players for something you so desperately like.
Yeah, it's like I mean, it is the embodiment of like just because I did it doesn't mean you can. It's like my dad used to smoke 40 cigarettes a day, and he'd be like, "Never smoke.
Yeah.
If you smoke once, you're gonna be in big trouble." And I'm like, okay, and then I just see him at the back, like out the window, smoking all day. I think it doesn't mean that it's technically they're right to tell players not to gamble because technically no one should gamble. You know, like I
mean, they shouldn't not be punished. They should be punished for doing it, but like banned for life.
Yeah,
nah, come on, like ban them for like 20 games or something. Especially in baseball, 20 games is a lot.
It's, you know, with gambling, it's such a moral gray area where it just feels silly to kind of argue for or against it. Like it should, I think it generally
should exist, but like not like this.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not advocating for taking people's liberties away and saying ban gambling, but it's like if gambling's going to exist and you're going to advertise it, then like you're telling a certain subsect of society, like sports players, you can't do this. Like you will lose your job if you do this. Now, excuse
Forever.
me while I promote this to everybody else in the world, except children.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But then that, to be honest, it just emboldens my idea that sports is completely fraudulent and rigged, and it's essentially the team with the most amount of money is the one who wins the league every year. I don't know if that's the same with baseball, but
It's more prevalent in some leagues than others, but that definitely exists in some way. Like, oh, we can just buy this player off and maybe win a championship right after.
Yeah,
and that doesn't not happen. That happens a fair amount, but more in like baseball you can do that. But MLB and NBA not as much because they have salary caps. Baseball you can spend as much money as you feel like.
Oh, okay. Well, that's it, because like I know about soccer, which we call football, and there's an unlimited amount of money you can spend on anything. So like someone can buy Manchester United for like $10 billion, and then they can spend $10 billion on the most expensive player, and then win the league. It's like,
yeah, that shit's. You don't like to see it, but. There are things to stop that from happening. I do think sports can be rigged, and they have been. I don't think it's like completely, oh my god, this is all, the commissioner's pulling the strings from the clouds, but it does happen, definitely.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is just my little theory is that there's a man up in the special box up at the highest most point of the stadium who's controlling the legs of the players with a little joystick, like a little arcade unit. But that's just my little theory. I'm not going to promote that.
Laughing and giggling and slapping his belly.
Yes. Oh, so you've seen the same documentary that I have then?
I have, yes. That was great, dude. I don't know if it had to be 9 hours long, but it was still good.
Hey, everyone.
Just one guy.
It's called The Big Fat Man and the Funny Little Game. It's on Netflix now. Check that out.
Yeah, go watch it, everyone, now. Go pirate it.
Turn this off and then gamble and then go watch
Turn this off right now and go watch the documentary on the guy who runs sports. You won't freaking believe it, dude.
You heard it from Alex, everybody. Stop watching now. Thank you, Alex, for coming on.
Go now. I don't know why there's anyone viewing this stream as of now.
Oh no,
I should be talking to just this guy right here.
Yeah, I just checked. No one's watching anymore, so yeah, it's just you and me.
Bye, everybody. Have a nice day.
Yeah, this is bad advice, Alex. That's a bad influence here. I gotta go. Gotta talk to you later before it gets worse. Bye.
Later.
Okay, there we go. Rock and roll song there from Family Guy. Okay, now, ladies and gents, it's time for something very special. It's time for everybody's favorite thing. It's a cornerstone of podcasting and live streams. It's time for the sponsor of today, which is envelopes. Do you say envelope or envelope? Either way, it's going to be pretty difficult to send a letter without one, right? So you better get an envelope quick, no matter how you pronounce it. Envelopes are selling out fast around the world because so many people are sending letters. You don't have time to study the etymology of the word. It sounds French, but who knows? Language can surprise you. So, thanks to today's sponsor, Envelopes. Okie doke. How about we get another call? And a bit of music. Sports, immigration, Karl Marx. What are we going to talk about next? Could be anything.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Oh,
very
amazing.
Happy to be here.
I can hear it in your voice. That was an extremely positive answer. What's your name?
What, my real name?
Well, do you have a fake name?
Yeah, it's Traxton.
Oh no! Can you get? I want your real name and your address and those 3 crazy digits on the back of your debit card.
Well, you can't have those, man.
Oh, I'll just take the name then.
Okay, it's Traxon. It's my racist online persona
Oh,
that I wear.
Traxon.
Traxtan.
Oh, Traxtan. And that's a racist persona,
Yes.
you said?
Yeah, of course.
What does that mean?
Everyone has one. Well, when you go on the internet, you of course don't want to use your real name nowadays.
But does
So-
Traxton mean something racist that I don't know?
No, not really. It's just something I picked at random.
Oh, I get it. You were like, I gotta say racist stuff on the internet, but I'm not gonna use my real name. I'll just go by Traxton.
Yeah,
And now I can
spent a
be
couple
racist.
years trying to find it.
But the
Yes,
name
exactly.
itself is just okay, I get you. Because actually, I was gonna make a joke there, but I'll get the channel taken down if I
Go
do.
ahead.
No, I'm already in the bad books. Traxton, what's going on? What's grinding your gears? Or what is greasing your wheels today? Because it sounds like you're in a good mood.
Well, I'm here to talk about video games exactly.
Oh, okay.
Because nothing's coming out. Because we gamers, we need video games. We need new video games. We don't need remakes or remasters. Because that's all that's coming out today. I don't want to play those.
Yeah, it's
When was the last time? What? Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, it's see, I'm trying not to be a broken record now because I put my thoughts down about remasters and stuff, but there is what annoys me is that there's still so much to say because it just keeps happening. And when I was finished, I take it you've seen my Tony Hawk video.
Oh, I've seen it multiple times. It's a
Okay.
visual treat.
So
Visual and audio treat.
Audio Jungle.
Yeah.
You know well what my thoughts are, and you know how deeply I looked into that game in particular. I still check in every now and then just to see how that game's doing, or what people think of it and that type of thing. And there's still there's bugs in the game. It only has 50 weekly players. It went on sale after 2 weeks of coming out, and it's more than half price off. They've released I don't think they've released any updates to it, and I'm sure they're not going to release any at all. And the game's broken, they're not fixing it. All of these things, I feel like I could make a second video just at how it's actually just even worse than you thought. Is there something that sparked your thoughts today? Was there a new game that came out that annoyed you?
Well, I saw something that really annoyed me. It made me actually yell. Deus Ex, you know it?
Oh, I vaguely know that they quote unquote remastered it, but I don't know anything else.
Oh, it looks horrible. It actually looks worse than the 25-year-old game that ran on a PS2.
Man, that game, that's that looks like those old James Bond games like GoldenEye and stuff.
No, it looks even worse than that. It has no artistic merit. It has no cohesiveness. It's a jumble of bot assets. That's what it looks like.
It's that kind of very basic FPS old style kind of there's a gun at your side and whatever. I'm
No, the game is not that. The game is so much more than that.
No, but just as a visual, because what I assume what this remaster is going to be all about is just a quote unquote visual upgrade, right?
Visual and gameplay, that's what they said. But I don't know. It looks horrible to the eye.
Well, that's what I mean. That forget about the content, the actual literary content of the game, especially because that game, what that's about is probably the exact opposite of what is happening to it. That's kind of an authoritarian, anti-AI game from 25 years ago. But the visuals of it, people weren't playing it because it was the most visual, stunning, still holds up to this day. It's a pretty basic visual game. And like I can only imagine that if you update the textures and you update the models and stuff like that, like it's not going to change anything. It's like it's
pig on a lipstick. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's going to actually make it 10 times worse, because like it's going to have like character models who are just standing there, and like they just stand there looking at the same spot. I don't think they even walk around really. Like, you know, those levels where like they just have guys who are just stuck and they have no like emotion. It's just going to look like that, but it'll be rounded. You know, it'll be like
it looks unnatural to the eye. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
your brain's saying there's something wrong with this.
It's disturbing. It was never meant to be like that. It's like I would prefer, not that I want any of this, but I would prefer if they like remade it and just changed the whole thing, because at least
no, they would delete the game's identity.
I know, but at least then you could get a big chunky kind of like criticism out of it. You could kind of say like, okay, there's a bunch of stuff they messed up.
You can make a video on it.
Yeah, but this is just gonna be like, you're gonna look at it and you're gonna be like, yep, this looks terrible, and there's gonna be nothing else. It's not even gonna be like a satisfying thing to hate. It's gonna be like, you just take a look at it and
this is just sad. It's pitiful to look at.
Yeah, it's just sad. Like, it's like when people hate watch people on YouTube or whatever, like, you want to hate watch someone who's at least interesting. You know, a guy who's like messing up his life or like saying the wrong thing. No one wants to hate watch a boring person. So like, this is the same with the remaster.
I think people who hate watch are the saddest people in existence, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I get it more with like a lol cow, where like it's like a fat schizophrenic or something, and I get that they get some sort of satisfaction from like gaslighting them or whatever. But like, just to like, basically the Deus Ex remaster take is just going to be a very boring, not even worth hating experiment. I wonder when people stop buying this stuff. Like, people who like there are.
I don't think that will happen, unfortunately.
It's crazy to me.
There's a market for this stuff.
With the Tony Hawk's video, there's still people who like comment on it and they're like, "Oh, I bought this game, and after watching your video, I found out that it was terrible." I'm like, why did they buy the game? What did they see that?
Because they see shiny new thing. It happens with all of some of my friends. They see a shiny new thing and they want to buy it. They want to use their computer they spent $2,000 on. That's what they want to do, but they can't use it because there's no games.
That's actually a good point. That if I bought a PS5 tomorrow, I would have to buy a game to justify the purchase, and it would be like The Last of Us 2, and then I'd be like, oh no, I don't like this game. I have to. Surely there's a good game, and then you just buy all of the new games for the PS5 until you've spent like €1,000, and you're like, oh no,
what games?
Wasn't. Huh?
There are no games on the PlayStation 5. There's one game, and it comes free with it. That's it.
You can very quickly buy every single PS5 game. You can try them all. It won't take long. It'll cost you a bunch of money, and then you'll realize, oh, I not only did I waste money on all these games, but also the entire unit itself. Schizo Garcia with the I think this is $2 Australian. He says her name was Ebba Auckland. She was only 11 years old. Do you know what the hell that means, Traxton?
No clue.
I don't think anybody does. But thank you, Schizo. I guess you're living up to your name. So what are you playing, Traxton? What are you still playing video games, or have you given up?
Well, I still haven't given up because it's my only means of enjoyment nowadays. I just replay video games. I don't really play. I play older games. I've been playing Ratchet and Clank. Never played that.
Oh, that was
the original one, not the remaster or the remake.
Yeah, that was the only game that Ratchet and Clank 3, the only game that I beat like 20 times. Like, usually if I beat a game, I'll just leave it. But I remember as a kid just beating it 20 times over. And I don't know why I was so particularly obsessed with that game in particular. It was funny. It was a funny game.
Well, when you're a child, you have this one special experience with a game. It can be any game. It can be even not a good game, but your brain associates it with nostalgia and happiness.
Yeah.
So you can just replay it over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I tried going back to like PS2 games not that long ago, and I don't know, I don't have the attention span anymore, or like I know too much about design or something that like when I'm playing it, I'm like, it's like I have like 4K goggles on where like I understand all of the little like magic things that make it work now. Whereas when I was a kid, it was like I guess you know the way they have at the start of the game. There's that what's that gun called again? Where you can like it's like very expensive and you can destroy everything.
I don't remember.
Is that what it's
I
called?
never played the other ones.
Well, so
But the Mind Bomb?
well, there's this game that you can see it in the shop from the start of the game, and it costs like 1,000,000 coins. And like, I know as an adult that I will never get 1,000,000 coins until I've beaten the game, because that's how it works. But when I was a kid playing it, I was like, oh my god, I can't wait until I get that gun, which I'm probably gonna get soon. And then coincidentally, oh, I just happened to get it just after I beat the game. And Pickleman says, yes, it is called the Rhino, or YNO. But my point being, like, I'm too cynical now that whenever one of those like magic things happens in a game where you're like, ooh, I wonder when I can go down that path. Now my cynical brain is like, yeah, they're gonna leave that until I beat the last boss, because that's how games, that's what they do. So I think maybe I need to reestablish some sort of innocence to enjoy old things again.
You need to enjoy them for what they are, because when you go back and see these old games, they have really high scores on Metacritic. Like, for example, Metal Gear Solid, it has 96, I think. And when you play it, it's very simplistic, even compared to something like Metal Gear Solid 5. It's very simplistic. It doesn't have actual stealth.
Well, I guess
It has stealth areas. Go ahead.
yeah, the thing that I kind of relate this to is music. That I can listen to music from the 60s or the 70s, no problem. I can listen to music from like the 40s or 50s and like not have to readjust. But I know there's a lot of people who are like, they're into modern music and it sounds really pristine. And if you try and get them to go back to listen to music from the 60s, they're like, this sounds terrible. You know, like the quality is just awful. They're like, I cannot listen to this. And like for them, there's like a recalibration that they need to get their head out of like modern sensibilities and like kind of get their head into the space of like the time when the thing was made. I think I have the same thing with video games where I need to like pull myself back and forget about like what my Xbox is capable of and like get
You need
into
to
the
like them for
mindset.
what they are. I think that's
Yeah.
what you need to do.
Exactly, yeah. I think
You
I need to
need-
get an actual PlayStation though instead of emulating it.
No, you really don't need to. Trust me.
Well, it's just
I bought a Wii, and I wish I just bought a controller and just used an emulator, because the Wii is just very low resolution
it's just that like
on
when
modern
I'm
displays.
if I'm playing a PS2 game on a machine that I know is very powerful, I'm so aware that like my Xbox can handle like, you know,
You're
100.
wasting power. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like pointless stuff, whereas there's something about the PS2 kind of like giving it everything. Like the machine is like pushing, and there's something about that where I'm like, yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like I'm making the machine work for it. My little slave. I like to make my machines my little slaves. If they're too powerful, I know they're gonna overtake me. I got to keep them in line.
I know that feeling because I felt it just a while ago. I was playing a new game. I pirated, of course. I'm never paying for a new game. Anyway, it was terrible. But then I saw my frame rate. I was like, and I heard my PC. I was like, holy shit, this thing is working hard. I'm like so happy. Finally, the thing I spent $2,000 on It's doing something.
You know, actually, that's exactly what it is. It's that I spent money on an Xbox and I still feel like I wasted my money. So when I'm emulating something like very simple to run, I'm like, come on, man, let me play one game in my life where this Xbox just has to work for it. Like, just that's the whole reason I ever bought like a modern game in the past like 5 years. Is I'm like, give me like Red Dead Redemption 2 or something. Like, I want to justify the purchase, because I could actually just have emulated everything I've played in the last 10 years and saved myself like probably like thousands of euro.
I know the feeling.
Well, Traxton, I just punched my microphone out of anger there. I don't know if people saw that.
I'm not watching the stream because I don't want double audio.
You don't want to see it, Traxton. It's a terrible sight. I don't know what came over me. All right, Traxton, I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for coming on, sharing your thoughts.
It was nice talking, man.
Yeah, man. You too. Take care and keep on rocking in the free world and doot doot doot.
See ya.
You never watched Nardware?
No, I don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is? Okay. Well, Traxton, goodbye.
See ya.
Well, don't I look the fool? All right. Now, for those of you who don't know, Nardwire is a music reviewer who, when he ends his interviews, he says, doot doot loot doot, and then the person is supposed to say doot doot. Okay, now I've had the shocking realization that not everybody has watched Nardwire music interviews. Anyway, Schizo Garcia with the $2, and he says graphics peaked. That's $2 Australian, which is about 60 cents. He says graphics peaked with Arkham Knight, and yeah, that was a good looking game. I don't know if you're referencing. There's this video on YouTube.com, and it says this game came out 10 years ago or something like that. And it's like a side-by-side comparison of a game that came out like today, and I think it's Arkham Knight like 10 years ago, and you cannot tell the difference. Like, you cannot know which one is the new game. I'm sure that's a popular video that you've all seen. The Small Dude, how does it feel to be European and not an American? Is it weird? Says Fatal Tyler 08. Is it weird? Well, I could ask you the same question. How does it feel to be a man and get a boner? Now, to you might say, what a ridiculous question. It feels normal. It feels just like the way I am. But say that to a woman. Ask a woman, hey, do you know what a boner feels like? And she'll be like, not in the slightest. So that's the answer to your question. Do I feel weird being a European? It's just like boner. Okay, folks, I am my head's everywhere. I had a drink of water here. I'm not finished, and I was going to replace it with another one. Why would I waste water like that? Why? I was anticipating a new glass too soon. I was getting ahead of myself. First world problems, folks. I have too much water. Anna Ray says, are you big into reading at all? Got any favorite books? I wouldn't say I'm big into reading, because I get into it and then I finish a book and then I don't have a follow-up. But I love reading when I get into it. I have a big bookcase full of stuff. I will get into a subject, and like preferably it'll be like a non-fiction, like documentary book or whatever, and I'll read that like start to finish in a couple days, and then I just don't know where to go next. So I need to line up books. I was reading Design as Art by Bruno Manari recently, and I'm satisfied to be at the point where I can read a book and disagree with it. That's actually a difficult thing to do. Like when you're young, you just believe everything that a book says, because books have this like built-in authority. And when you're reading a book, like the voice is in your mind. So like you're reading the words, but your voice in your head is saying it. So it kind of primes you to agree with it more. But I was reading this book, Design as Art. Bruno Munari is a classic Milanese design artist. He was called the Picasso of his time. Or not the Picasso. Picasso called him the Da Vinci of his time. And like, he has a lot of good things to say, but I was reading it and I was like, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. That's a good point. Yes, I'm going to steal that and claim that as my own opinion. I don't agree with this. And I was like, wow, I'm getting smarter as the years go on. Whereas I used to read books and just believe absolutely everything was said, and I used to think everything was great because I had no like taste, and I had no, what's the word? Critical analysis of anything. Anna Ray sent another message there and then retracted it. What's going on? All this book talk's getting people fidgety. Olden Fox says, don't even tell Small Dude about it. Now, what could he be saying? Oh, are you talking about Silent Hill F? Because I was actually thinking about that when we had the last caller on, that I'm not going to look into this Silent Hill F, but I even now, even after everything I've been through with looking into video game remasters, I saw that Silent Hill F was coming out, and I was like, ooh. And I hate myself for doing that. I was like, ooh, this is interesting. And I have seen nothing about it, but I can't believe that for a second I thought, this could be good. Like, how am I falling for this? I should know better. I should know by now that any remaster is going to be bad. I don't know if it's a remaster or what it is, but can't trust these new games. Picasso called him the Picasso of his time. Yeah, I had the information was in there. I knew Picasso was mentioned. And there's a comment here that I want to read. Would you ever take fan mail? Do you not trust your fan base? Now, don't interpret my lack of fan mail ability as me not trusting you. It is true that I don't particularly trust people to send me mail, but a PO box is €70 a month, I think. Like, it's actually very expensive to have a place for people to send you mail. I am not going to give away my address for people to send me mail. That is a classically bad idea. So I just can't receive mail until I get rich enough to afford a PO box. In which case I would love to do that. And a lot of people offer to send me stuff, which is frustrating. I wish I could give them my address. Speaking of games not worth... Oh yeah, okay. I read that. And what? There's something else. Boppa Booey says, books are the only way to really think deeply and understand something. Videos and podcasts, while great, don't give you time to think and be critical. I know that on the internet, no one wants to hear about books because the crossover of book readers and internet users is fairly small. But when you do get into reading, it's amazing the depth of information that you can get into on a subject compared to a video. Like, there is so much more information in a book. It's crazy. Like, a YouTube video would have to be like 10 hours long to give you the same information that a 400-page book can. And I might even be understating that. And Brian the God says, boo, books. There is just... I don't read enough. There is just so much good information out there. You know what? I also have to say, there's so many bad books. You know, I bought this book on Stanley Kubrick. It's called Eyes Wide Open. And it's by this screenwriter called Frederick Raphael. And he basically recounts his every conversation with Stanley Kubrick. And he basically just like talks shit about Stanley Kubrick for this entire book. And he says like, I wrote a screenplay for him. And then I said this, then he said that. Then I said this, then he said that. I think Stanley was very insecure about what I said. And then he said this and I said that. And I was like, that book was just like a podcast, you know, like very stream of consciousness, not worth your time, just gossip. So it is funny that sometimes books are just like actually worse than a podcast. Okay. It's funny, Demo Nova says, I have actually read a book once. Well, that's good. 1 is better than 0, depending on what book it is. In fact, a lot of books are so bad you'd be better off reading 0 books than reading 50 Shades of Grey. Anna Ray says, it's funny you say that because the YouTuber Wendigoon made a massive following off of readers. Oh, actually, you know what? I have 0 idea what book YouTube looks like. I've never listened to a YouTube video about a book ever. Manga aren't books, but Berserk was a roller coaster of emotions. Well, sure, I mean, that counts. I guess when people say books, they mean novel, right? But reading, you know, like it takes away the visual and the audio stimulus. Well, I guess a comic doesn't, but you know, it's a different experience. No one reads books anymore, old man. Well, they're not making good books now, but you know, go back to the 70s for a good book. Hey, small dude, just checking in. Didn't say anything naughty, did you? Says Pestilent Caden. No, I haven't said anything naughty yet. In fact, I've been talking about nerdy stuff that no one wants to hear. So how about we get someone on and we start saying something naughty? How about that?
Hello.
Okay. We are back with Grinds My Gears. Hello, who am I talking to?
You're talking to William Connor Sherlock.
Okay, William Connor Sherlock. Bill.
Yes.
Bill.
Not
Sherlock.
much upsets me. Not much. We've had some pretty conversational train wrecks that I've listened to. Pig on a lipstick and alike. But there haven't been any. I haven't bought any games lately. I haven't been annoyed by any of these remakes. I feel like it's kind of an easy situation. You just don't buy them. Like, I don't know. I feel like this is like a consumer issue.
Well, I can't disagree because that is, you know, that is the conclusion that I came to a long time ago. Is like, I don't want to waste my money and get something that I don't like. I just won't buy it. But I think the reason why people get annoyed by it is because like there's every opportunity to make a good game and to make something that people enjoy. It's a great medium. It has it's the biggest industry in the world. It has every reason to be good, but then it just isn't time after time. And it's like, I would like it to be good. I like to enjoy good things, don't you, William Sherlock?
Yeah, no, I love enjoying good things. I guess and this is a little bit not really even in response to what you said. It's more just to what you were talking about earlier with books. I feel like video games are hindered, or not even hindered as a medium, but just like they're harder than books because it's like a book, you write down a line and it's like, well, I got to edit that later maybe, and then it's done. But like with a game, it's like you got to write the line and then you got to hire a voice actor to read the line, and it has to have emotional impact, and then you have to make textures and all this shit, and it's like it's so hard to make a good game. It's so much easier for these companies to just make trash, where the best-selling book is going to be the best book. I mean, more often than games anyways.
Well, I guess, you know, you said something that, and this is kind of not what you're saying, but I think it's really interesting, is that you're like, if you write a book, you can write a line, then edit it. But then if you're making a video game, this is what you said, I think. You have to write a line and then, you know, take into account the emotional impact and then like record the line, then put it in the game. But you don't have to do that. And this is what annoys me about video games. You don't have to do dialogue. There doesn't have to be a script. There doesn't have to be like characters with cool things to say. Like, there are so many things that a video game could be that has nothing to do about like written word or like acting or like 3D models or motion capture. Like, you know, you can make a game about anything, but when we think of games, we think of like basically movie games, which is like, how can I write a script and then basically just hire actors that are 3D CGI people and then make a story? But like, it can be anything, you know. Like, what kind of games? What was the last type of game that you were interested in, Connor? William Sherlock.
That's interesting. I guess you're right. Like games I guess I'm thinking of it too much in a way of like, oh, it's just an extension of the movie medium or an extension of the book medium, where it's just like, oh, everything has to be scenes and scripts. I guess games can be focused on fun, like I guess with Tony Hawk, that's a good example where it's you don't need plot, you don't need characters, you don't need themes or messages. You just need gameplay that is satisfying and rewarding to do.
And well, it's like everything that. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but everything that people generally say about video games, about what they have to be, is just based on our experience of what video games are. So it's like you're like a video game, you have to like write and record these lines and stuff, and then it's like you don't have to do that, and you're like, you're right, a video game can be just about the gameplay, but like you can keep like turning down these ideas forever, because like maybe it's not about the gameplay. Maybe it's not about like characters. Maybe it's not about story. Maybe it's not about environments. Like just keep on taking things away, and like video games can still be something. Like a video game can be a game with no dialogue, no characters, no humans, no music, no gameplay, and there's still more things that you can do. You can make a video game even without all of those things. Whereas if you take a book, if you remove words from a book, you're
it's gone.
very limited in what you can make. And then if you take away pages, then just forget about it. Even still, having said that, there's some crazy Leonardo da Vinci of his time who's going to make a book with no pages and no words. But you know what I mean? Like every time you say, like, anytime anyone says like video games can be this or have to be this, like you made the point, like they can be anything, and there's so much in them that you can do every medium basically in a video game, and yet every game is Red Dead Redemption or some form of GTA.
It has to be 3D environments to walk around. It just has to be real life, but changed. Sorry, I don't want to overanalyze a joke. What was the modern day Da Vinci making a book with no pages? Was that a real thing, or am I analyzing a joke?
Oh no, that was because a couple of minutes ago I was talking about a guy and I said Picasso said he was the Picasso of his time.
Oh,
I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking too much of Picasso, so now I'm trying to redeem myself and say that I need to say somebody's the Da Vinci of their time in order to say the phrase correctly. Picasso said he was the Da Vinci of his time. Sometimes I do just say nonsense though, so if you don't understand, it might be my fault.
Well, it's nobody in my life has an accent, so I'm used to very single. Although that is funny because I'm a Zoomer, right? So I feel like I'm among the first generation that's entirely grown up raised by YouTubers. Like I didn't watch a lot of TV. Well, I mean, I did watch TV, but like from the age of like 8, I was watching YouTubers. I was watching Markiplier, Vanoss, Game Theory, all these channels, and I feel like I'm part of the first group that was really raised by just the people internet figure. I mean, you can argue if YouTube even represents the people anymore, but
yeah,
still, I think it's
no, that's something that fascinates me because I'm probably in the only generation that kind of had a bit of both. Because like I was, like there was, I know a time where there was no social media, but also I was young enough to go on YouTube when I was like, I don't know, like 9 or something, in its very like primitive state. So I know what it's like to go on YouTube as an 8-year-old. But what blows my mind is the things that you're seeing, like not just like I used to watch. Do you know this YouTube channel Shay Carroll?
No, what's Shay? What's that?
It's this guy. I think I don't know what his name is, but it's called Shay Carroll, and it's just a family vlog thing. And it was just this guy had like a wife and 2 kids, and it was boring. Like why was I watching that? There was only like 4 things on YouTube, so I as a child used to just watch this family vlog. And they would go on holiday and just like, oh, my kid's in the pool. Now we're going for dinner. And like, it was boring. and it had no effect on my psyche because I wasn't engaged with it. But it was the only thing that was on. But now I'm thinking like Mr. Beast or I Show Speed, like it is changing kids' brains so rapidly. Like they're engaged, it's interesting, and that's terrifying to me because I know how easy it is for a kid to just sit down and watch anything for hours, even like something as boring as a family vlog.
Yeah. Yeah. And I worry, I guess, like, because you watch what you want, right? You feel whatever you don't have is what you're gonna feel. Not to imply like, oh, you had a bad family, so you watch family vlogs or anything like that. But like, just people, they want to watch somebody with a lot of money to throw around. They want to watch somebody who's a charismatic figure and can hold an audience's attention for hours at a time. That's why streamers are so popular. It's like just the idea of someone being able to entertain tens of thousands of people simultaneously for just hours a day. That's what people are watching for. That's what they want to be. That's the fantasy.
Well,
I feel
so
like
you're saying that like when you were growing up, you would watch YouTube more than TV, right?
yes.
And like one thing that I think of looking back is I actually learned like a lot of words from video games and TV, and even like shows like SpongeBob had like good vocabulary and like good concepts, like good humor, and it was a genuine like piece of art that was very like beyond competent. And I still notice things that I do today that like are inspired by things I watched when I was a kid. But like, what do you get from Markiplier? You know, what is Markiplier teaching you? And I'm not saying he's like a bad guy, but like, what could he possibly be doing in his video game?
I totally understand.
Like,
I totally understand.
do you feel like you
I'll
learned
tell you-
anything from that?
Absolutely, because that's the thing. He doesn't have anything to keep you there other than the quality of the game, which the qualities of the game at the time, indie games in 2016 were terrible.
Yeah.
So the only other thing to keep you there is pure charisma and being charming and being able to talk and hold conversation. And so I feel like watching it growing up, it helped me so much being able to just communicate with those around me and just, like, absolutely. I think it taught me tons socially. But
Well, so you're just going around acting like Markiplier and putting on a real deep voice. Like, yeah, I got a lot of friends from saying, "Holy crap, guys, we're gonna go into this room." I haven't watched him. I don't know what he does, but
no, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Someone in Farconzo in the chat says, "Tobuscus taught me everything I know about music." Do you know who Tobuscus is?
Sure do. I used to love Tobuscus.
Yeah, that. Well, what age are you, by the way?
I am 20 right now.
20. I don't know how you know who Tobuscus is, and so do I, because I think I was real young. I must have been like 8. I'm 28, so like I'm 8 years older than you. I watched Tobuscus when I was a kid. I guess I must have just been too old to be doing that. What like he was he? I guess maybe he was just relevant for more years than I'm aware of. Like, what kind of age would you have been watching Tobuscus?
So I was kept off the internet until I was older than most. I was probably like 10 or 11. I want to say 2015, around that range. And I the first that I found was Peanut Butter Gamer. My cousin showed me Peanut Butter Gamer. That was my introduction to YouTube, pretty much. And then I found Tobuscus. I watched him play Happy Wheels because I was big into Happy Wheels. I loved making maps on there. And I found Tobuscus first, and then that led to the rest of Let's Play YouTube, like just unscripted, just charisma.
Yeah, that I think that must be deeper. Like, did you see Tobuscus do vlogs and stuff? Because that's what I knew him from.
Not so much the vlog. I wasn't old enough to really even be entertained by vloggers. Mainly Let's Plays and then his music videos. I loved his songs.
Okay, because from my memory, this is a faded memory, but my dad got this. This sounds terrible. I sound like a total idiot saying this, but my dad got like the first iPad, like the first one that they ever made, like as soon as it came out. So I would go on my dad's iPad to watch YouTube. I was so ahead of my time. I was an iPad kid in like 2010 or whatever. But I would go on and watch Tobuscus doing vlogs, and I remember one time feeling a bit insecure going out to like meet people or something, and I watched Tobuscus doing a vlog to like get me in a funny mood, and like that was such a primitive thing. Like that was like YouTube wasn't like what it became then, so that was kind of like an innocent thing. But I'm thinking of the kind of modern day version of that. Like I'm gonna watch IShowSpeed, and then when I'm with my friends, I'm gonna act like him. That's terrifying. Like that's
absolutely
not like, and I don't know. It's so extreme. Like there's something kind of innocent about like, you know, like oh, I'm gonna act a bit silly the way Tobuscus acts, but like I don't even know what the new guys are saying. It's like I'm gonna talk about Israel the way the guy on YouTube does with my friends.
Yeah. I'm gonna act how I see. You know, I don't know. I hope this is interesting conversation for people to listen to. I assume so, because they're all YouTube viewers, so I'm sure they can relate to watching a lot of YouTube.
Listen,
but
this. Oh, sorry. Are you setting something up here?
Not nothing more interesting than what you're about to launch into.
Well, I just think it's funny that you're like you truly are. This is the effect of like growing up on YouTube, that you're so aware of like what the audience might think, you know, which is such a like you shouldn't have to worry about that at all. You're a guest on a show. It should be the last thing, but it's like back on the days of television, if there was like a game show and someone's a contestant on a game show, no one was ever like, well, I hope this is interesting for the viewers to watch. Oh, I hope my answer was entertaining for the viewers. It's like people would just be like, I'm on TV. Oh my God, look at me. And now, like, because the thing about YouTube is that you're so aware of how the behind the scenes works. It's like, you know, the YouTuber, which I guess is me, is almost no more of a professional than the viewer. It's like as soon as you get on the show, we're like equals. Like I'm not the host who is like some fucking like larger than life character. It's like we're both just trying to be equally like cognizant of how the viewer feels. Do you feel like that, like getting on here? Do you feel like you're conscious of whether or not you're entertaining people appropriately?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I'm representative of the average person joining the stream, but absolutely I feel a responsibility to keep the audience entertained. And I mean, like, especially because I mean I watched your Tony Hawk video and I really liked it. So I mean, it's like, I guess it's like I want to do my due diligence to help out the channel. I mean, I want to help out the stream, I guess, in that sense.
But that's
I like good content.
Such a crazy thing to me. Like I understand exactly why that happens and why it makes sense, but like the idea of like watching something but being so simultaneously aware of like that you're watching something and the guy who made this is a real person who, like, you know, and you can like make guesses about like what type of person they are and what type of life they live, and like, hey, this guy needs my support. Whereas traditionally you should watch media and be so taken out of yourself that you forget that it's even like that you're watching anything. Like if you watch a film, you just end up kind of like living in the world of the film. And with my Tony Hawk's video, I was trying to make it a bit more like just kind of watch this and like follow along and like get engaged with the story. But like 90% of comments are talking about like me as a person, you know, like you said this, you think this, your life is like this, and like, you know, like either like you're wrong or you're right, and no one is like so absorbed in the video that they're like, wow, I forgot it was even real. Like everyone's like so aware that they're watching a YouTube video at all times.
That's a very interesting idea. I've never thought about that. Just, I guess that kind of heads into like what we were talking about earlier with just the medium of YouTube in itself is so different, and like it's a frontier. It's like we're used to movies where it's like the idea is engaging the audience in the world and making them feel like it's real. And when it comes to YouTube videos, we try to do the same thing. Like we want to engage the audience, but it's like it's not taking account that the whole point of the YouTube medium is that it's a unfiltered look at the person. The people don't want to see the content. It's about the person delivering it, and it's personal. I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing.
I mean, it's funny because, like, you know, people talk about how far YouTube or Google has strayed from their original thesis, but like it no matter what you do, it always is YouTube. Like, it always does come back to the person uploading the video is essentially the reason why you watch. And I mean, they could kill that, you know, with those channels where they get bought out by private equity and it's just like a nameless, faceless like documentary about the kid who hacked GTA, you know, like, and it has nothing to do with the person uploading, and you know, that'll be the death of YouTube if anything. But Connor, thank you for coming on and giving your thoughts. Great
Absolutely, thank you for having me. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I've had a great time.
Thank you for coming on. Fascinating to reach out to another generation. The power of the internet. All right, Connor, take care. There we go, folks. Another one bites the dust. Another one. That's an old reference to a song. I'm so old. Okay, so super chat here from Anna Ray. Anna Ray says, I do have a question, actually. Up to what season of Family Guy can you stomach? And I love the insinuation because a lot of people think that I am the #1 Family Guy fan. I like that you've picked up that it's difficult to stomach Family Guy. Because yes, although I do have these posters, which are hardly even Family Guy posters, and I do have 2 plush toys, and there is a tangential reference to Family Guy in my videos. Up to what season can I stomach? I haven't tried to watch Family Guy in a long time. Every time I talk about this, people are like, oh my god, I can't believe he's saying this. I tried watching Family Guy from like season 1 years ago. Like when I started doing this channel, like I wasn't even taking this channel seriously. This was just kind of like messing around for fun a couple of years ago. And I was like, yeah, I'll watch some Family Guy. And like it was okay, but I wasn't interested. So like I think I watched maybe like half of the first season and maybe a couple of episodes in the second season. And then I was like, all right, I don't need to ever watch this. In fact, I think specifically it's better if I don't watch it because it gives me this kind of like time capsule idea of Family Guy where like there's some things I might do in a video and people will make references like about, they'll be like, Quagmire's not like this, or like, you know, they'll reference to something in the newer seasons, and I'm like, I only know what happened in the first 9 seasons when I watched them in 2008. So my idea of Family Guy is this very distorted and warped memory of something from long ago, and that's what I think's really like funny about it, and I want to maintain that. This channel is a lie. Yeah, I know. I have to. And Zebrazil says, real Family Guy fans aren't even able to name 5 episodes. Everybody knows it. Yeah, I'm such a big Family Guy fan that I haven't watched it. That's actually how it goes. That's actually the smart thing. Hi, I am new here. Well, welcome. I really enjoyed your Tony Hawk's video, and I am having a good time listening to your podcast. I hope that I will be able to stick around more often. I hope you will too. Is there something that's going to take you away? It sounds like that you've got limited time. I hope you can stick around too. What a lovely little comment that was. Okay, folks, before we get on to the next caller, I'm just getting this in now, that we actually have breaking news.
Family Guy News Network.
Breaking news, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and the song you sing while saying the alphabet are actually the same song. We'll have an example in half an hour. Back to the studio.
Okay, well, fascinating stuff. How about we get on to a new call? A brand new call. Who's going to be on the phone this time? It could be an old person, it could be a young person, and everything in between. Let's find out, people. Hello? Who am I talking to now on the show?
Call me Kevin.
Call me Kevin? You're the YouTuber Call Me Kevin? I'm a huge fan. Haha. I'm
Sure
gonna
am.
call you Kevin. Okay, Kevin, and what's grinding your gears today?
I've been thinking about it a lot lately. It's not any new topics whatsoever, but it still kind of makes me mad. It's like the degradation of American-made media, especially towards gendered roles. Back in the day, you guys were talking about it in the last caller about smaller niches, smaller groups, and
Yeah.
I think that's what gaming was initially. Kind of gravitating towards male audience, right? Which I kind of grew up with, but now it's diluted to where it's not familiar anymore, and that kind of upsets me.
Yeah, I mean, this is like this is a big argument that I've tried to make with identity and, you know, who is this game for? Like, if you're taking something that used to be for, you know, a certain demographic, but now you're marketing to another demographic, but this new demographic happens to be the thing that all games are marketed towards. It's like this extra kick in the teeth where not only is the thing that you like changed, but it's being amalgamated into this new demographic, which is like pushing you out specifically. And
Yeah.
you used to be the core demographic, and now somehow you're like alienated as if you're like the least important person in the community.
Well, I'm not saying they're like erasing us or anything, because a bunch of other people other than me like video games, and it's cool having games tailored towards them. But it's like male heroes can't be male heroes without like a female sidekick to kind of straighten them out, or a female protagonist who isn't. I'm trying to figure out the word for it. She's not valued by looks, which is okay. However, she's not visually attractive to look at. That's not everything, but if it's like a cool kick-ass game, say Tony Hawk game, a skateboarding game, mostly guys, hot-blooded males are going to be playing these games.
Well, I find it hard to say that like white guys aren't being erased, because it is just like that's why I think the Tony Hawk's thing is like such a good example, because it is just so definitively the young white male game, and then to like almost make them like second class citizens in their own community. And like the from like the comments that I read is like people are like, this isn't yours. Other people play games, like you don't own this. And it's like, I agree, it's fine. Everyone can play games, whatever. I'm not saying it should only be for these people, but it's like, let's all just live in reality for a moment and acknowledge that like white guys like the band Korn in 1994, like white guys like the game Doom, and like I find it hard to kind of deny that premise, and like there, yeah, I do kind
Like,
of
I'm trying to,
appreciate
like,
the argument that like
I'm seeing,
other
like,
people can
how-
have games too, but it's just some things are made for certain people, you know. It's just like everyone would agree with that.
Right, like The Sims is going to be more towards women. A lot of these packs are fashion packs,
Or
targeted
Barbie
towards like a
horse
specific
riding.
age.
Barbie horse riding game.
Yeah.
No one ever used to say like, "Hey, boys can play that too." Like the boys were like, "Oh, get that away from me! I
I
don't
need
want to
Doom
play
Guy in
that
my
thing."
Barbie horse game.
Do you remember that one?
Which one?
Oh, there was. I just. This is my go-to like girls game. There was a Barbie horse riding game on the PS1, and like it was just every girl in the world had that game. Like they would
think
have a
I've seen it
PlayStation,
before.
and it was like they were given that game when they bought the machine.
Right.
And Skinner
Well-
the Sauce Man says Barbie horse riding game for PS1 is goated. So I'm not making this up. But yeah, sorry. What was your original point with this? That you're annoyed that this like every game is just kind of switching to this new demographic.
Well, like previous generations kind of look up to heroes they found in books, in movies they can kind of look up to. I'm seeing like a big steady decline in that in our generation's media. All the superhero movies are kind of tailored for every single person who's watching it, and they don't really hold the same values that American men do have. And the media we do consume, we're always kind of viewed as someone that has to change, or someone that has to apologize or straighten up. And I don't think that's very fair on us to keep hearing that over and over again.
Yeah, I mean it's so everywhere that you can really look at any element of media and it's going to be in there. Like it's not just video games, not just films, or like not just books. Not that anyone's writing new books now, but even I saw this ad yesterday, and it was an ad for the Irish police force. I don't even know what were they advertising. I have no idea. It was just like one of those, like I don't know
just
if you have
on
these, but like we just have like ads for like public services, like just like, hey, the police force, it's great, and
right,
there's this ad for like the police force, and it's like it's a female police officer, and she's talking about like how dangerous her job is, and she's like, yeah, when we're on the job we have to face some real tough shit. And then there's like this like reenactment of like a police squad raiding a house, and like they have like machine guns and riot gear on, and like they're like bursting.
He's got a knife.
Huh?
He's got a knife. Put him down.
Well, then the guy had a gun, like in the ad, which guns aren't like legal or common here. But like the whole ad was basically like, we had to burst into this guy's house, and like we've got these machine guns. We risked our lives. He was gonna kill us. And it's like this female police officer saying this. And I'm like, this literally is not reality. Like our police force don't use guns. Like they don't walk around armed. Citizens generally don't have guns. Like the amount of house raids going on with like riot gear is probably like one a month, maybe, in the entire country.
Right.
So I guess what I'm just saying is like it's like media as a whole feels the need to portray like female police riot squads, disarming this guy with
it's
a
not
gun.
necessarily like my biggest problem. I like female characters. I really like I primarily play as female characters. I think they're more interesting to explore a dark world in, or a hyper masculine world. I always like the exception, but the standards are 100% different, and it's like treated as the standard, which isn't. You're going to see a whole lot more men volunteering for harder roles like military or police.
Well, I guess ultimately it comes down to authenticity with what the world is actually like. So when you see a character, and like the way you were saying that, like, people used to look up to a film character or whatever, and they kind of like you project yourself onto them. So you empathize with the character, and you say, okay, what's their world like? This is a guy who like grew up alone. He had no parents or whatever, and then he became Batman, and then he started saving the city, and he got real strong, but he has like this emotional damage or whatever. Like all of that makes sense within its own internal logic, and it seems like, obviously it's not real, but it seems authentic that like a guy would kind of go through this like cycle. And so you can relate and look up to things even if they're total fantasy. But then there's other things that like just it's too much of a stretch to empathize with it. So like, just say it's like Batman but it's a woman. You'd be like, okay, like there's ways to get on board with this if you change the story a bit. But they're like, no, it's literally just Batman, but it's a woman now. All the same stuff happened. And it's like, well, that's just not true, because the same stuff doesn't happen to men as happens to women. And like, men and women don't have the same reaction to their parents being killed in an alleyway. And
right, especially men and women view that situation differently. A man would probably want to go towards vengeance, meanwhile a woman would go do something else. It's a very masculine trait to carry for, say your parents died in front of you, become a big ass superhero, make it the change that you want to be in the world.
Yeah.
But I don't know how tone deaf the creators are of these media properties that think that there's an audience great enough to rely on financially for these kind of stories. say they did make Batman, but Batman's a woman and she's kicking so much more ass than Batman, so much smarter, and she's telling all these guys off. How much more do you think it's going to sell?
Well, this is the thing that this is where the kind of comments are divided. Like, you know, I think a lot of people agree with the kind of general sentiment that, like, you know, it wouldn't make sense, like, if that happened to a woman and her instinct is to, like, you know, go out and seek vengeance on the death of her parents, that's like a masculine trait. People would be like, well, why wouldn't they just make it a man then? Because that would make more sense. But now the second question is, why do they keep doing this stuff anyway? And where people are divided is the reasoning for doing this stuff that is just like inauthentic storytelling. And it basically, there's kind of like a hopeful, optimistic way to look at it, and then there's the total black pill, everything sucks way, and like no one's ever going to agree with it. But like my kind of stance on it is that it's not necessarily about making money in the long term. I think when they do this stuff that doesn't sell well and it just isn't good, like storytelling, isn't good like media creation, I think they're just trying to get from one project to the next. And like if movies as a medium just dies, or if like video games just dies, they're just going to be like, okay, whatever, move on to the next thing. Like I don't think there's this
So it's
concept.
like quota filling?
Sorry?
It's like quota filling then.
Well, I think it's just chasing short-term profits that like these out of touch executives or whatever are saying like, what's popular right now? Putting like women in things, put a woman in something, and then like everyone underneath just kind of has to do it. And this is where I lose people, because people think like, well, what about the whole kind of global cabal to like feminize men? And I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but I think the reason why it's so prominent is because there are just foolish people, foolish creators and executives on lower levels who are just chasing up. They think like this movie might do well if I do that, and sometimes it doesn't. And
You
they're
think
like,
that's the case?
Well. What do you think?
Well, I don't know what big psyop is going on. You kind of see it with the feminization of men and then the masculinization of women. I don't know if it's to further dilute the genders, so it comes into like a big blobby mess. I don't see the point in doing any of that. Probably just so we can be marketed better. But whatever female you have inside like a male-oriented project, say Call of Duty, they hire these beautiful actresses to portray the women, but they brood them up to make them look like wider shoulders, wider jaws, fucked up hairdos, and horrible outfits. And it's like, if women want to play these hypermasculine games, they want to kind of see themselves as beautiful women. Like if you're making The Sims as a girl, you want to make a beautiful avatar for yourself. You're not making this demorphized version of what a woman is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different aspects to it. I kind of want to clarify that. Like, I don't just think that like it's not solely just chasing profits. I don't think it's solely just one thing. Like, I think I know for a fact everything's changing everywhere all the time, and there are many people with many different interests who want to enact their own will on the world in different ways. So there are going to be like political motives from certain groups who want women to have a certain type of self-image. And then there's going to be another group who wants media to portray X, Y, and Z. And I think what we get is this like Frankenstein of like trying to appease this political group, trying to appease these shareholders who think that this is the right thing to do, trying to like make a profit and trying to steer the industry in this certain direction. And I honestly think it's just a big mess. Like I think there's like so many different things that people are trying to push, and it's confusing. It's like no one's in total control, and we just have like this fractured control from like several people or several groups who have similar ideas, but not quite the same.
It's like the biggest groups too.
And what?
It's the biggest groups too that hold this value.
Yeah,
you're gonna see that through Activision, Sony.
And what's funny is, where is the group of, let's just say, for example, like edgy young white guys? Like, how much influence do they have? None. You know, there's no little subsect of like, oh, but we still do have all these like gory, violent, hyper masculine games. It's like they're gone. They're nowhere. There's no influence.
Well, they're chuds. They don't deserve
anywhere.
a voice. They don't deserve an audience.
Yeah, so I think that's
You know
why
what I
you've
mean?
got that section of society is pissed off, because it's like a lot of other people have a little bit of something in everything. We have nothing in anything.
Well, I think their argument against that is that we had it for so long, and it's
Yeah.
like our turn.
Yeah.
It seems kind of out of spite.
Yeah. As if we've lived for all of history, you know? It's like, you had it, oh, back in the 70s, you had it your way. It's like, I was not alive.
Right.
And I also wasn't a Hollywood producer making the stuff. Like, I get one lifetime. So far, I've got about, like, 15 years of being, like, conscious. And, you know, most of those years, like, have been on the downward decline of not having stuff that I like. There was probably about, I don't know about you, I feel like I got about 10 years of there being a consistent amount of stuff that, like, I identify with. That's not that long, you know?
Yeah, versus their whole life.
Yeah,
Like
like
my dad grew up with like
Yeah.
Star Wars and Indiana Jones.
yeah,
What did we
not that I
get?
particularly
Like a shallow Luke Skywalker or something.
not that I particularly want those things. I was never interested in those things too much, but the fact that they existed was like, it was just normal, like that your dad would have, like my dad loved Star Wars. Like people's dads just loved Star Wars, and that was just normal. But now it's like, you want my dad to like some emotional Netflix documentary about like a woman who climbed Mount Everest? Is that going to be my dad's favorite film? You know?
No, he's probably gonna rewatch all the old shit.
Yeah, he's just going to watch Star Wars over and over again until he finally dies. Anyway, that's a terrible thing
I
to
really
say.
like the Acolyte.
And you know,
Yeah, I
I
know.
think it's funny that even people like that don't even bother watching the new stuff. They're like, like even they're just conditioned to know, it's not like the one that I had. Because
Yeah, a good example of that. I was tuning in on that new Marvel zombie show. I was like, okay, the comics are really dark, so I'm like, all right. I tune into one clip, and it's like all the female cast. It's characters you're not really familiar with. It was like Kate Bishop, Ironheart, and Ms. Marvel. They were fighting Captain Marvel as a zombie, and what you call it? Kate Bishop fired an arrow at her, and then she fired a confetti, and then she died. Like, who the fuck are these people? This shit wasn't even funny. It's like quirky millennial shit, and it's like characters you don't know.
Imagine how difficult it would be to work in whatever job it is to like make that show. Like it comes down from the top that like you know,
You gotta be detached.
the big boys who you'll never see, never talk to, they've said that we're doing a show about like Miss Marvel. So now you, who, you know, you've practiced graphic design or like 3D design for like 10 years, you need to make this now. Like that is impossible. And it, like everything that comes down from that top decision of like, you know, like we're making this Miss Marvel show, everything like that comes down, like what do you even do to make it good? You know, like the foundation of the idea is impossible. Well, I won't say impossible, but that's a tough job, I'll say that much.
I agree. It's a tough job for certain people. And if I was like a black queer woman, I'd probably have a stronger voice in that department while writing that type of show.
Well, that's it. It would be tough for me because I'm like, I don't even know what anyone wants to see with this, but like for the person who it represents more, they'll be like, I'm not sure what to do, but I definitely know what kind of shit to say, or like, you know, it's like take the opposite way. Like how you have this like ultra right wing extreme, you know, TV show or whatever, and then you get like and let's say it's too far right, like it's out of touch, but like you get like a kind of like more like conservative right guy, and he'll be like, yeah, this show's a bit too much, but I get the gist of what I'm supposed to say and do here. You know what I mean? Like, I know the beats to follow. I know you want to hear about this and this and this. I think it's probably the same with like the Marvel thing. It's like, I don't know how to make the show good, but I know that I should put in like an ugly woman or a woman with broad shoulders.
Oh.
Like, you know, that's the
Right.
call to arms. That's how I justify my job, is just doing that, because no one can say that I did a bad job, because that's what you're supposed to do. Anyway, Kevin, I'm gonna let you go before I start getting myself banned once again, saying things that my boss and your boss don't like to hear. I don't know if you know this now, but YouTube's your boss because you're a YouTuber, because you're on a call-in show now, Kevin.
Sorry, you just broke out. What'd you say?
I said you're fired, Kevin. YouTube just fired you from the show.
Oh no!
I know, you're gonna have to get a real job now. I'm so sorry. All right,
Well,
Kevin.
I do appreciate you letting me talk, and see you later.
All right, take care, man. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you. Bye.
There we go. That was Kevin. Call him Kevin. That's what he wants you to call him. That's his name. You're not gonna not call him Kevin, right? Of course you are. You have to. 'Cause that's his name. Okay, people? That's how it goes. All right, now I have got something very special for you. This is an upcoming show talking about media, talking about cool new things that are coming out. Please listen to this message about this cool new thing that you should buy/watch.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Hey guys, it's me.
In a world full of stupid people, there was one man who was different. He has seen the world through his computer.
I'll see if I can turn on this computer.
And now he's going to tell you what it all means. Sometimes he looks into his computer screen.
See if I can turn on this computer. All right, here we go.
And he looks at himself, watching himself, watching himself, watching himself, watching himself.
Oh, I actually have not always been like this.
This is the story of one incredible man. This is the story of Asmongold.
I wouldn't say that I don't have a moral compass, but I would say that my moral compass doesn't point north.
Okay, so that is an ad for Asmongold. You should check him out on YouTube. Okay, folks. Cool show, awesome show. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. I know that's what you were thinking. I just decided to say it instead. Here's a little look around. Here's a little view. Whoa! Nearly fell off my damn chair. That wouldn't be premium, wouldn't it not? That wouldn't be the deluxe show that you expect. Isn't this a deluxe show? Yeah, you know it is. Deluxe as hell. That's funny what I said, because I just added on something there. Added on a word, made it different. That's what jokes is. That's comedy. This is a comedy show, but it's also informative and awesome and cool. Isn't it? So, it's a multimedia experience, this is. Who are we going to go for next? I don't recognize this guy, so we'll give him a go. Okay. Now I need to stop talking for about 3 seconds to reset my voice, because that's how long it takes. Alright, my voice is back in action, but the caller is not answering the call. Now when Small Dude calls, you answer, okay? That's a little thing that I say right in my house. I say when the Small Dude calls, you better get up off your damn ass and pick up the phone. And Small Dude's calling. Oh, and then someone says, I'm in? I'm in? Oh. Wait, yeah, okay. Let's see. Let's try this again. Was it this person who he joined through his phone? I don't know. This is confusing technology. Let's see.
Yes. Hello.
Hello?
Are you able to hear me now? Clearly.
I am able to hear you now, well and good. Who am I talking to?
My name's Jeff.
Oh, this is Jeff from 21 Jump Street. It's so nice to meet you. Is your name actually
the pleasure's
Jeff?
all mine. No.
Oh, well, I'll call you Jeff anyway. That's good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff. Now, Demo Nova says, wow, you are punching mics and almost falling out of chairs? What kind of show is this? I know this show's off the rails, Jeff. You know, we've got Jeff here. I've no idea what Jeff's gonna say, but I know it's not gonna be it's not gonna be politically correct. Jeff, what's going on?
What makes you think that?
Because when I asked you what your name is, you said, my name is Jeff, and this is a guy who has nothing to lose. This is a guy who's just totally... You're not the gentleman from the 1940s, you know? You know, they were all proper wearing suits and stuff. You're crazy, Jeff.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
That's okay. It doesn't necessarily make sense. What does grind your gears, Jeff? J to the E to the double F.
So before I joined stream, I was just gonna talk about like loneliness or whatever, but nowadays, after I joined the stream and the guy started talking about advertisements, gambling ads, I hate the steak ads. I hate the steak watermarks and memes that we have nowadays. That shit sucks. That's grinding my gears.
That's a good thing to mention because man, that...
Are you aware of it?
I've never really thought about it, but I'm reminded of like when I saw one of those things and like I don't know what I was
can't even look at shitposts without seeing gambling ads. That's so fucked.
That it's so crazy. I haven't actually put the time in to think about it, but like I remember seeing like just an average video. It wasn't even like, you know, greatest video of all time. It was just like a whatever. And I was like, looking at it and I'm thinking, better stop watching this soon because this like is just shit. And then I look down and I'm like,
or else I'm gonna start gambling if I keep watching it.
Yeah, I was at risk of relapsing by watching a meme. But I was like, wait, this is an ad? Like ads are just like memes? And I thought on one hand it's brilliant because that's how you're gonna get in front of people is to like, you know, slap your logo on a meme. But I had this feeling that like this is such a good idea that this will not be the last time that this happens. I don't know how Steak are the only ones doing it because it's a diabolical, but it's such a good idea, you know? Like, why not? Why not do it? It's free.
It's evil.
Yeah.
Evil.
So there's a lot.
As Chris would say it.
Evil. There's a lot of evil. There's a lot of evil ideas that are like you almost have to like take off your hat and tip it to them because of how diabolically brilliant it is. And like I listen, this is getting a bit too political, but there's a lot of videos of Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, and when he talks, I'm like, he's so classically evil. It's actually kind of brilliant. I'm almost in awe of it. Like he was born to be who he is. And that's not a good thing to think because, you know, you should hate the steak ad, you know, which you do, right? You hate the steak ad.
I hate it.
Because it may be like genius it may be evil genius, but it is treating you like a dumbass. And like when you see that, it's like I think you're a moron. And not only am I going to like invade your life with this low tier shitpost, but I'm going to like sell you something for having watched it. That is like the lowest form of slime on this planet.
That's true.
Well, I think like somebody said earlier, the solution is probably just stop looking at memes. Stop consuming it, and that's how you win, you know? You think you can rise to the challenge? Jeff?
I can't even look at memes anymore, man. That's fucked.
I mean, how much are you losing? You know, like, what do you have to lose by not looking at memes anymore?
You know what? That will make me watch Family Guy funny moments instead, and I'll feel like I'm wasting less of my life by doing that.
Well, here's the question. Where is the limit? Like, how bad must the media you consume be for you to just like stop watching it? Like, would you stop looking at memes if every other meme had an ad on it?
I would actually.
I don't know if I believe you though, because like
that's terrifying.
Like that's the type of thing we say, like, oh yeah, I definitely would.
I want to look at Big Chungus, not buy Nike shoes.
Well, what's the alternative lifestyle? You know, like what would you do? What would you do if you couldn't use your phone anymore because it was so riddled with like ads and everything you saw was essentially like propaganda or just trying to sell you something?
That's a good question. I guess. What would I do? I don't know. Let's start. Maybe read a book since we're talking about it. Since they were talking about it. The other callers were talking about it.
Well, I this is the classic non-argument where people say like, why don't you just read a book instead? As if you're just gonna like the same amount of time you spend on your phone or your computer, you're gonna read books for that amount of time. You'd have the biggest library in the world. But it's like the kind of question is like, how many ads, how much propaganda do you need to see until you stop using the thing? But it's an almost impossible question because it's like, what do I do instead? And that's the thing that no one has a plan for, is like, yeah, I know I hate seeing ads, I hate being manipulated and stuff, but what do I do instead? You know, do you think what do you think you would gravitate towards? What's something that you do that isn't going on your phone and going on computer for entertainment?
I'm not sure.
So, that's a big
I'm
chunk
really
of
not
your
sure
life
actually.
that you'd have to replace.
Yeah.
It doesn't say. I think you're in it for life, Jeff. I think there's no getting out. Like, I mean, this is just a hypothetical thing, and you're like, I don't know, I don't know what I do. But what happens? What happens when this reality comes knocking on your doorstep? What do you do? Do you do anything for fun?
Me, I play Pokemon.
Well, Pokemon could get corrupted by nefarious forces too. Is there a wholesome, healthy, non-corruptible thing that you do?
Let's see. I mean, I obviously play Tony Hawk because like that's kind of how I found out about your channel. It's just the Tony Hawk video, like everyone else, like most people from your audience, I guess.
I wouldn't say most people, but I mean, like we have a. It's funny because like the new people won't be able to tell this, but like the people who have been with this channel for a long time blend in so perfectly with like the audience in general. Like I'm just seeing we've got Captain Ahab here in the Discord line. He's been here for years, probably. So yeah, we've got a lot of OGs here, but the audience blends together well. But yeah, I do. There is a lot of people in this audience who did you want to buy Tony Hawk before you saw that video?
Well, I'm glad I didn't. I wanted to buy it because I have a Switch. I wanted to buy the OnePlus 2, but it's locked to 30 FPS on the Switch. So I was like, nah, fuck that. I don't even want to buy it anymore because like your video made me hate it.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like I played. I borrowed a copy of Tony Hawk's OnePlus 2 from my friend on the internet, and his name is Pirate. I won't give his full name, but his second name begins with B. So I borrowed Tony Hawk's.
It's the peg leg guy from Family Guy.
It's what? It's who?
It's the peg leg guy from the pirate guy from Family Guy.
I borrowed my copy from Seamus from Family Guy, and I was playing. See, I do know a thing or two. I do remember things about Family Guy. I was playing Tony Hawk's Remastered 1+2, and I enjoyed it. One night, I was having a beer and I was playing it, and I played
it at a friend's house.
It was enjoyable that night, and then I played it the next day, and I wasn't drinking a beer, and I felt very empty. And then I played it the next day, and I had this bad feeling. I was like, there's something not right about this. And I started looking into it, like, you know, I don't know what it was. There was just like an emptiness, like there was something that was missing. And the more I looked into it, the more, you know, you've watched the video, that was everything I found, was that like there's just this like soul that's missing from it. And now, like, believe me, Tony Hawk's is not the only game that has that thing missing from it. And like once you start seeing it, and like I started digging, like I didn't know this stuff before I made the video. I started digging, and I was like, wow, the information was always out there.
Not just with games. I feel like it affects movies a lot. Like where we're like Marvel movies, like we were saying just a while ago.
Yeah, it's not just that video games is this outlier where something funky is going on. Like it's all media, but I think everyone knows it on a surface level. But when you get someone who's like just saying it straight out and like, you know, with no filter or whatever, and does a kind of silly amount of research on it, you're like, okay, I already knew this, but now this guy is just telling me what I already knew, but with facts. But I mean, you got to watch out because you could get fooled again, you know, like Silent Hill F, Metal Gear Solid Delta. I guarantee all of these games are going to be some variation of cash grab, but will you still be buying them?
It's a hard sell.
I mean, can
you hear me?
I got lost.
I was able to hear you all the way through.
Oh, you could? Oh, I just couldn't hear you. Damn, I don't know what was going on.
Oh, that's strange.
that was an epic L on my behalf. Okay, so Jeff, anything else on your mind before I let you go?
I'll
take that as a no.
I don't think so. I got stage fright now. Never mind.
Okay, well, hey Jeff, thanks for coming on and sharing your piece. That was a good thought to share with us.
Yeah, it sure was.
My name is Jeff. Everybody, give him a big round of applause. He did it.
Dude, thank you.
How was that? Did you have stage fright the whole way through?
No, not just because of the internet died.
Oh yeah, I know that gave me a bit of stage fright too. So don't worry, that's a universal problem.
All right.
All right, man. Take care. We'll talk to you again.
See ya.
See ya. That was a delightful kind of little goodbye there. See ya. I like when people are in a good mood. It's good to be in a good mood, isn't it? That's why they call it good mood. All right. We might only have time for like one or two more calls because my voice is killing me today for some reason. And I wanted to read this comment. The Brazil says, I've been following you since you made Family Guy the podcast, and I'll follow you until you die or I die, whatever happens first. Well, hopefully that's a long stalemate that we get to. The Brazil. Family Guy the podcast, man. That's real OG stuff there. I'm glad, you know, one of the most satisfying and difficult things to do is to keep people's attention, because like Dr. Dre said to Kendrick Lamar on the phone, he said, anybody can get famous, the hard part's keeping it, motherfucker, or something like that. I don't know, I wasn't really listening. You know what really grinds my gears? You suggested you may do a 6-hour stream before. I know. You know what? I don't know what was going on. Like, I had so much more strength for it, and now I'm losing my strength. I think, here's a little channel update. I think what's been going on is that I'm balancing a lot of different things. Whereas, like, you know, not too long ago, I kind of was just working on this channel and not really doing that much else. But now I have like my focus spread between like 3 or 4 different things, and it's the same amount of work, you know. You're still working the same amount of hours in a day, but there's something about like this psychological thing of like doing a live stream and then like editing a video for someone else, and then like editing a video for a different person because I have multiple things going on, and then just real life stuff. I think the thing about streaming and why what's this noise? What's this noise going on Discord here? What? You can hear that, right? Where's that coming from? Am I getting personal messages? Anyway, I should figure out how to turn that off. I think the thing about streaming and why like full-time streamers can do it for like 8 hours at a time is because you build up a muscle. And so if you stream like 3 times a week, you build up this ability to do like longer and longer streams. But when you're doing different things, it's like your energy for doing streams in particular is not as strong because you're like spending energy doing other things. Anyway, I'm sure nobody really cares about this. Skitter the Sauce Man says, turn on streamer mode? Oh, I thought you meant like me as a person, that I need to turn myself into streamer mode. But actually you're talking about the setting on Discord, and you're right, because I disabled it, and that was silly. So, Skitter, you saved the day. Okay, what do you think your channel is about? What do I think my channel is about? Is that a serious question? Because Pestilent Caden says, talk like Markiplier. I don't really know what he sounds like. Did I do a good impression of him earlier? We need to go in that room over there. That's definitely not what it is. What do I think my channel's about? Well, the channel, you know what? This is actually kind of something I've been thinking about. The channel used to be my excuse to like practice my editing skills and to essentially like just I'm finding out how to turn off this annoying sound. Don't worry. Oh man. Oh, streamer mode. There it is. Okay. Enable streamer mode. Now let's see if Skitter was right. See if the noises cease. I used to use this channel for like full on 100% creative, funny stuff. And then my editing skills got to a certain level where I didn't really need to do like experimental stuff to make something good. And the new challenge was to create something that's actually like broader. And now I know that I can do that too. But I am thinking about my long-term plan, and I would like to take the small dude in like a direction that encompasses more things, and definitely not just limiting myself to doing video essays. And I guess this live stream is part of that experiment to see like this is a good kind of like a live stream is a good place to kind of try different things, and you can fail easily because you don't need to like work on it for 3 weeks and then publish it and see what it looks like. So I'm enjoying that kind of experiment, see where it goes. I think it applies to anything where you have to do different activities in your day-to-day. And yes, that was a serious question. Okay, I don't know why I asked you if it was a serious question. Sometimes it surprises me that people are interested in what I'm doing during the day to work on this channel. Well, a lot of streamers are vapid in comparison. I think thinking deeply about people and things is tougher than, whoa guys, we're going into a room. Yeah, honestly man, if you know what it is, my stamina with doing a live stream is that I am constantly trying to make sure that like what I'm doing is good and worth watching. Whereas if your only goal is to play a video game and to just talk and be semi-interesting, you can do that for a lot longer because you're using much less cognitive energy to make sure that every moment is exciting and fun. Which obviously I try to do. I try to make every moment exciting and fun, but if you're to do that for 8 hours while playing a video game, it's easier just to turn off your brain and just not talk or do anything. The Discord invite on your Instagram doesn't work. Oh no! Can you post it here? It's in the description of the video. The Discord invite. Damn, I need to change that on Instagram. Thank you for letting me know. People help me run my channel here. Okay. I felt like I was going to say something. Let me just quickly scroll up and see if I missed something there. Oh yeah, the doing different activities in your day kind of lessens your energy for certain things. You know, it's funny because like I also only worked on this channel for like so many years, like two or 3 years now. I've mostly just focused like all of my energy on trying to get to this channel to the point where it is now. And now I have to focus energy on seeing the next 2 years. So you know what it is as well. Sometimes like you make less decisions, but they have more weight. So if you're like nobody, you know, you have a YouTube channel that you just set up yesterday, no one knows who you are. You can do anything because all of your decisions are probably not going to get you anywhere quickly. But the more you practice and the more you build and grow, the more people kind of like expect things from you and have ideas about you, and the more you have expectations for yourself. And so like gradually the weight of your decisions become more important, and one decision takes you further than 100 decisions that you would have made before. And I'm trying to watch out to make sure that I don't get paralysis now, because I am aware that like if I uploaded a quick, easy, cheap video, people would just be like, what? Like, what is this? Why did you do that? Whereas I could have done that a year ago easy and no one would care because no one was watching. You know what I mean? Don't want to say no one, but a very forgiving small community would have been like, yeah, that's fine. But now I want to make sure that I roll with the momentum. Anyway, someone says Synthetic Man wants to collab. How do you know? How do you know that? Explain. Cite your source. That'd be interesting if that's true. I love, you know, here's another thing. We'll get to another caller now in a sec. I love editing stuff for other people. And that's something I'm trying to figure out, because like I have people coming to me asking me like, hey, will you edit this? Will you do this? And the thing that takes a lot of energy from me is like being the guy on camera, being the guy on the microphone. Because that's what the content is. That's like the substance of why people tune into you, is because of like what you talk about and the way you are. And then editing and style is secondary. Like when you're watching this live stream, you're not just watching the ticker down below. You're not just looking at this like computer. You're not just reading the live chat or checking out like the little graphic design I have over there. Like almost all of your energy is focused on like what I'm saying and like this part of the screen here. And that's the bit that I like doing the least, because I love setting up like little graphic designs and stuff. So anyway, why was I talking about that? Whatever. It doesn't matter why I was talking about it. Because I wanted to. I guess some people find being entertaining an unconscious gift. Some people have to work really hard. Some can do it with no effort. Actually, you know what? That's a great way to say it. Because people have strengths and weaknesses. And Donald Fagen from the band Steely Dan, that's my favorite band. He's a great singer, great songwriter. He says that he has to work so much harder than everyone else to be a good singer. And I absolutely know what he means. Like, he is not built to be a singer. It's not his natural talent. But he's built up the skill enough to be a good singer. And that's how I feel about being on camera and like being entertaining and stuff, is that like it's not my natural thing, but I am good at it enough to get by. But I have to try so much harder than other people do, I think. Whereas for editing, I can do that so easily, and it requires no energy. I wouldn't say no energy, but anyway, let's get on to another call, because people don't like when I'm yapping. Because the numbers go down, don't they? They want to hear me talk, but to a different person. So we're going to go for this guy. And let's see how this goes, everybody, okay?
Hello, hello.
Hello, who am I talking to?
It's Jonah from Poland.
Oh, Jonah, is it?
Again. Yeah.
Okay, Jonah from Poland. What is grinding your gears today?
A few things. The last time we were talking because I was here, I think 2 weeks ago.
Yes, and I thought you were Indian, right?
Yeah, you thought I was Indian.
No, and I have to apologize for that again. I don't know what I was thinking, and now you're saying I'm Jonah from Poland just to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I have to remind you.
Okay, so what's going on now in your crazy Polish life? It's so crazy.
Kind of busy, like 2 weeks ago. Nothing special.
What was there something that was grinding your gears?
Yeah, a few things. One that I was thinking about after we ended talking, that was when you were talking about the concert you were on, and the idea that people can misinterpret things that are made like art. Because you said you are scared, I think, of that kind of people misinterpreting the message.
Well,
and when I was thinking about
I wouldn't say I was scared, but I know what you mean. That's a translation issue there, of course, Jonah.
I thought you said scared. I may be misremembering.
No, maybe I did, but I'm trying to rewrite history now. And by the way,
maybe
Brian the God, thank you for the $2. He asks, can the caller curse Vishnu? So can you do that, Jonah?
Curse Vishnu, of course.
He's right in the flow of it today, Brian. He knows exactly what you want. And
Jesus is king. Jesus is king of Poland.
Yeah, the king of Poland. Curse Vishnu! Okay, Jonah, I was scared of people would misinterpret. Was it the message of the Tony Hawk's video that I...
No. It was the concert you were on. You were saying that somebody was singing about, I think, how his body is changing with the
yes,
aging.
I get you. Sorry, yeah, I was thinking what concert? Yeah, I was at a concert and he had he had a song about like a guy whose body is kind of aging, but the people in the crowd were androgynous, kind of, transgender
monsters,
and they kind of interpret it as it's like a body positivity message. So for anyone, that was what we talked about last time. So now, Jonah, you have
yeah. So I was thinking, I think it's worth it to make something that can be misinterpreted for just the only one person to get it, I think.
As in the person who makes it, they're the only person who gets it?
No. But maybe somebody else than that.
Well, the thing about words in general is that there's no guarantee that you'll ever say a message that gets perfectly understood or receive one. Like words, I said this earlier and I say this a lot, but words are very small and, we can get really far with words, especially if you're very efficient with using them and you have like a good vocabulary. But ultimately, there's like an idea in your head which has no words. It's just, it's a thought. It's like a knowingness. And you want to try and let someone else know this, like this connection of whatever, neurons in your head, however that works. And like words are the only thing that we have, or like expression is the only thing that we have to let someone else know this like thing that's going on in our head that has no words. So I think even if you do communicate your thing perfectly, it's still not a perfect system. There's still I can never know, like everything I just said, I can never know how you interpret that. But you could say, yeah, I totally get you, and I would feel like we have an understanding, but it's impossible for me to know if you actually did understand it in the way I meant it,
Yeah, I know it.
This just goes, this goes.
How do you think if I know it?
You what?
Or you think I know it?
Yeah, but that's where it can get dangerous, because like if if I think, wow, I really expressed myself perfectly to this guy, and he thinks, yeah, I really think I know what he was talking about, but like there's so much unknown in it, like and that's just how I feel with like art and expression and music and lyrics and stuff, is that I just find with so many things that I've done that like I almost never feel like it's been understood the way I understand it. Like I feel like people get like big parts of it, but I never feel like someone understands everything, like about why I said what I said, and because it's just impossible, but you try to get as close as you can.
Yeah, of course.
But then it's dangerous when, if you're talking about like, well, I think this is what I was saying last time, that like you could think you know what you're talking about, but you haven't considered how other people are going to interpret it, and that's when your words get away from you, and you can accidentally say something that gets misinterpreted, and everybody thinks that you meant something when you didn't, and it's in your own best interest to watch out to make sure you don't do that, I think, without watching your words too carefully.
With the things that were grinding my gears, I have two more small ones. One is that when people here are annoyed about video games these times, I think like a lot of them don't look on the on indie games.
Oh,
like a lot of indie games are shovelware and they are trash, but there are some that are good.
Well, you're not selling it to me, Jonah. You're like, well, most of them suck. Some of them are good. I'm like, I don't believe you. No, I do believe you. But I'm a bit of a normie. Okay, so I'm not like the biggest gamer, and I have a Mac, so I can't even really play games on my computer. But I have an Xbox. And the availability of indie games on Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo Switch is pretty limited. Like, I agree, even within that, there are good indie games, but like, just to get your game on like the Xbox Marketplace takes a lot of money and, a lot of resources. The stuff that you're seeing is like pretty high level stuff generally. Whereas I think, are you talking about indie games that are like, there's a lot of stuff you can download on Steam that might be made by like, a handful of people? Are they?
Yeah, I was mainly thinking about that. I can get some examples if you want.
Well, not necessarily the names of the games, but give me the kind of idea of what makes them different to like a big commercial game.
Well, small games with lower prices and smaller, I don't know, shorter.
Well, I guess it's in the like I'm thinking about the kind of the process of development and selling the game. So like let's say I make a game and it's me and I have two guys who helped me make it. We're not going to have a load of money to sell this game, and we're not going to have a lot of money to market it, and our game will never reach, well, not never, but our game won't be able to reach Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo Switch, and most people who play games are playing on those consoles. So when a lot of people are playing, when a lot of people are complaining about games, like they don't have access or they don't even know the existence of small games made by like a handful of people. And I think the community of people who are playing indie games, like the ones that you're talking about, are a much smaller community than the community of people who play like Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, and all these big games. So they're outnumbered big time, and it'll stay that way. But when people think of gaming, they think of like Call of Duty. They don't think of indie games.
I didn't thought about that, to be honest.
it's not that people don't like indie games, they just don't even know they exist, you know? Like, just talking about, you know, this is including everyone who plays a video game, like a 7-year-old who like doesn't know anything, and then just like normies and people like that. I think there are a lot of gamers who play indie games, like, you know, proper gamers, but I think there's probably just not enough of them for it to be kind of substantial to change culture. And this community is going to be less and less. Like, there's going to be less and less people playing indie games because there's going to be less of an influence of it as time goes on. There's going to be more of an influence on Call of Duty, and there's going to be less of even the awareness of lesser known games. How do you are you deep in the gaming community? Like, would you consider yourself like a guy who...
Oh no, definitely not. I'm a casual, but I know indie games because I don't like the AAAs.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were saying, like, someone said here that Cursed Fetus says, he said they're small games. You should like them because of them being itsy. And I think what he means is that, like, just because a game is small, or just because it's cheap, doesn't really differentiate it that much from like a commercial game. Because if like a big AAA game was small, people would be pissed off, you know, like people complain.
Yeah.
So it just comes down to the actual, like, the quality of the actual game, and there are just very independent, small, little known things that have high quality, but just by the nature of the industry, they're not going to get known. So there was something else grinding your gears, Jonah.
Yeah, about it's a general idea about the world we have here now, like the agendas, the things that are wrong with the world, kinda, with the modern world, I guess.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it in consideration with the ending of Metal Gear Solid 3, the time speech and that stuff. That or no, not exactly that, but now I thought about a comparison. We have now the push for modernity and the progressive stuff, but I think the times are changing. My comparison is to the art history, because there are two things that are like yin and yang. It's realism or expression, and it's like one it's for a while, and then it's a swap of things.
Yeah. And that generally is how most trends go. Is that, like, you know, something goes and it develops and it evolves and it becomes more popular, and then people get sick of it because it's all you see, and then the opposite thing takes over again.
Yeah, exactly. It's a nice, I think, thing to think, because now the times are kinda annoying, but I think they are changing.
No, I do.
Little by little.
Like, change is inevitable, and, you know, as much as there are some things that are constant. Like, there's always going to be people who want power. There's always going to be people who exploit other people for money. And there's always going to be ads, and there's always going to be, like, the destruction of beautiful things in favor of money. But I do agree that, like, ultimately the way the people act, we do get sick of stuff, and, like, things just do reach a limit where people change, and the question is just, like, where is that limit? When do people start saying, like, fuck this, I'm sick of AAA games, I'm just not playing them? You know, that's something that is actually a realistic, well, I don't know if that's realistic, but, like, there is some amount of change that you can imagine coming from that.
Yeah.
But it's also not going to be this like this world-ending kind of like, or like this world-changing thing where like, hey, the world just changed and it's moving in our direction, and then we have our day in the sun and everything's great. There's always going to be like this opposition. There's always going to be like some aspect that's like, you know, trying to fight, and you know, I guess it's a matter of kind of being thankful for when things go your way just a little bit. And now they're going our way a little bit now, aren't they? More so than
yeah, they're going our way.
The way we want it, finally. As opposed to the nasty few years that we had. Like back in 2020, nothing was going our way. It wasn't going anyone's way if you're a human alive on Earth. Like everything was just as bad as it gets. And if you were to if you were able to predict the future in 2020, you'd be like, how long will things be bad for? And you'd be like, it's going to be at least 5 years. Like,
oh, we had on our Polish YouTube one man who predicts things like that. Yeah.
You had a what? Of what? I didn't understand.
A predictor.
Oh, who is the predictor?
Aitor, the channel on YouTube, Polish channel.
Oh, it's a Polish channel? Was he predicting like how long it would take to get out of the shit period?
Yeah, he's a big schizo. He was predicting shit all a year before the pandemic.
Oh, well, you know what? The pandemic emboldened schizos everywhere, because like anyone who said that this was going to happen, like, you know, and they were right, it makes you seriously question everything.
The schizos are always right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, you know what? Maybe these guys have something to say. We should listen to them every now and then. All right, Jonah, thanks for coming on, giving your thoughts, your expanded edition on interpretation.
Thank you for having me.
And other such topics. Yeah, no problem, Jonah. Good to talk to you. We'll talk again.
Maybe. Have a great day.
All right, it's up to you, Jonah. We'll see. It sounds like you're the one predicting the future. All right, man. Take care. There we go. I waited for him to say bye there, just so people know. I didn't hang up so rudely. All right. Okay. Now, people, you may have forgotten that I am thinking about you, that I know about your life. I know what you're doing. You're driving a car, aren't you? Now, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say that it's time for a traffic update. Beep, 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 beep. It's the traffic update. Updates on the traffic. Okay, so we've got William Benedict who's on the line, and he's going to be giving us a traffic update. How's the traffic, Ben? What was his name? William Benedict?
Oh my gosh, there is actually quite a bit of traffic today. Back to you.
Okay, there you go, folks. That's it. Traffic update. Drive time information. That's going to get you home safe and sound, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to go for one more call. One more call. I'm losing my magic touch here. I wasn't even touching the buttons when this little real noise came on. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go for this guy. We'll see how this goes. There's one or two more calls left, people. That's it. All right, so we're gonna see who's on the phone now. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Who am I talking to?
It's Captain Ahab. Hello.
It is Captain Ahab once again. Did I ever get your, like, is that what you want to be called? Because I know that's what I call you, Captain Ahab.
I guess it's preferred to what my actual name is.
Oh, it's preferred? Do you not like your actual name, or is it that you don't want to reveal any info about yourself?
I'm a very popular celebrity in real life.
No way. Are you Jack Black? I knew it. You sound exactly like him. Hey, yeah, it's Captain Ahab. Yeah.
I am Captain Ahab.
He's Captain Ahab from the Herman Melville.
Moby Dick.
Yeah, I wrote Moby Dick. I am Captain Ahab. That's how that book goes. It was a autobiography. Okay, Captain Ahab, what's grinding your gears today? Now, I just want to remind people that Captain Ahab bravely put his grandmother on the phone a couple of episodes ago. That was a great thrill. I enjoyed that, Captain, and fair play to you for doing that. You brought great joy, and your grandma was lovely.
Well, I'm glad. She had a good time.
How did you feel about that after? Did you feel like I coaxed you into something you didn't want to do?
No, I wasn't really that bent out of shape about it.
Okay, not that bent out of shape, just a little bit bent out of shape. Okay.
It certainly just caught me off guard.
Yeah.
That much.
Well, that's it. Anything can happen on this show. Anything can happen
It made
to you.
for entertaining television.
I mean, yeah,
It's the
what
most
else would you be
important
doing? Sitting around watching Fox News? Might as well put your granny on the phone. Be much more fun for everybody. Captain, what's grinding your gears today?
I particularly detest irony poisoning.
I thought you were going to say Irish people. I was going to say, oh no.
No, I'm Irish.
You're Irish, are you actually?
Not very, but it's in there.
I mean, I am very
he'd say
Irish,
it.
so I mean, it's hard to beat me in a game of being Irish. So,
Yeah, I wasn't walking headlong into that contest anytime soon.
yeah, be careful when you get into that contest with me. No, you are livid about irony posting.
Specifically irony poisoning.
Oh, wait, what's that?
Requesting for elaboration, irony poisoning is the idea that like sincerity is hand in hand with some kind of cringe. So everything that is destined to actually go down well in terms of entertainment has to be buried under like 50 layers of irony so people can feel like they're not allowed to be ashamed of finding entertainment in things.
Wait, so is this...
It's lame.
Is this...
It's absolutely lame.
Is this like an actual thing, irony poisoning, or is this kind of something that like you put a label on? Like, is this... How common is this idea?
I've heard it... I've definitely heard the idea from memes, but I think I actually heard it most frequently brought up when watching videos of people documenting iDubbbz's recent downward spiral.
Irony poisoning was involved with that?
It's just like it's the kind of vibe you get from like bread tubers and stuff like that. Like nobody's just sincere about a passion anymore. Like, that doesn't get you anything. You gotta be like a pseudo-intellectual about shit to be taken seriously sometimes.
Well, now, how is this ironic? That's the part, because I think I definitely know what you're talking about now, but I don't. Are the people who make the videos about like iDubbbz's downfall or whatever? What's ironic about those people?
I think it specifically pertains to like maybe comedy is more specific.
Well, what I'm thinking by your example is that, I mean, like I don't really get into this stuff, but I know the gist of kind of what these people who talk about people's downfalls and stuff. Is it that like let's say there's a guy and he's like, oh, you'll never guess what iDubbbz did now, and like, he just makes this video over and over, and it's like clearly, this person is like kind of like they're kind of joking about it and like, oh geez, this guy sucks, yeah, oh my god, could this guy get any worse? But like there's no way that they actually care about this, because like you'd have to be obsessed like that. It looks so much worse on you for being like constantly like vigilant about this guy's life. Clearly you're just doing it for money, so you're just like a soulless, vapid nothing person who makes money off pretending to be passionate about someone else's failure, and you don't even actually care. Is that it?
I actually just Googled it to help with what I'm talking
help me
about.
Understand.
So basically the idea of irony poisoning is it's hand in hand with the idea that like sincerity and passion just don't really get picked up anymore.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
And it's like the idea, it's like detachment based stuff. You have to like view things through certain amount of lenses to get like genuine enjoyment out of them. When you have like the guy over there who's just like, I like Superman because he flies and punches, and then you got the guy over there who like only really pays attention when there's a political theme, or like it's a complicated thing, but it just long exposure to it like waters down sincerity in media. Like irony poisoning is why like Marvel like not snobby, but like everyone's witty. That's what comedy is now in these movies.
Yeah, I think
because just saying a joke he is now in these movies.
Yeah, I think
because just saying a joke with like a
not the case that they're just telling you like, you know, the bad thing that happened, and it's not the case that they're just kind of like saying, you know, just for your information, here's what Hassan did last week. It's that they're being like smug and kind of like you know, oh, I don't really care about this. I actually don't really care about like what Hassan did, but just so you know, this is what he said. And then like now that gives me license to make fun of it because like someone said in the live chat there, it was like they're afraid of appearing authentic because they feel like they'll be attacked for it. So it's like you're ironically doing the exact thing that you fear the most, is that you're like criticizing everything that someone does, but like you have to have this shield of irony so that no one criticizes what you do. Whereas like a person who just doesn't a kind of stable person just wouldn't go around criticizing people in that obsessive way, because
I think the idea of it coming up like sorry.
No, just they'll know that like, hey, what I'm doing to this guy, people can do to me. I don't want that, so I won't.
Yeah. It's always like drama's like a big cycle and it's lame and gay. I think it specifically pertained to like the iDub situation because he like made the big graph about like post irony and trying to like analyze Sam Hyde's jokes and stuff like that. And it was like, this is something like his mind just came up with, like all these layers. And then the guy next to him is laughing because he just thought Sam Hyde was being a goofy goober and he's wearing a funny suit.
Well, I guess like, there actually is. I don't know if this is what irony poisoning is, but there is actually there are legitimate things to say in all that, but the kind of just even the whole kind of term irony has just been butchered so badly that like once you start talking about it, like no real point is going to be made. And I do think that like iDubbbz had some point with that irony thing, that like it is true that you can have a sincere feeling, then like make a joke saying that you have that sincere feeling. I'm kind of forgetting what it is, but then say that you didn't actually mean the thing that you're making a joke about, and like you're saying what you mean but saying that you're joking but you actually do mean it. Whatever the point he was trying to make is, like there's some truth to what he's saying. It's not like this is a non-existent concept, but there's something about him being this like smug, like I'm funny and I'm like I don't really care, I'm like above all this, like whatever the meaning is in any of that, it's completely lost. Like, you know, it's like overanalyzing a joke is the easiest way to kill it.
But
then making fun of iDubbbz
usually
for
comes with a...
just makes the problem worse. It just expands the like burying sincerity wherever it may have been.
Yeah, it's very strange. I don't monitor content like that like I used to.
Well, it's funny that you
now
say
I feel
that, 'cause
obligated to say.
I did used to find all that stuff more entertaining. I don't know if it was kind of a novelty, but or maybe it was.
I
maybe
just
it
don't
was,
think I care about these people that much anymore.
No, but that's what it was. What's interesting is that like I used to care more about like what people were doing on the internet, and it's like I think probably because of the pandemic when I was locked in my house with nothing to do, that was when I cared the most because there was nothing else to think about. But now I just kind of feel like I have other things to do, and I've no interest in keeping up with people who I probably would just be very annoyed by at all times.
Yeah, I don't like focusing on stuff orienting around that much anymore. I'm not really big into like video essays like I used to be.
I don't know if they used to be better, or if I just, or if they kind of just ran their course, or if I don't like them anymore.
That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe I just got over it.
Yeah, I mean that would be the same with anything. Like, you know, anything that you enjoy, music or film or TV show or whatever, you do eventually just like move on and start liking something else. That's a normal thing. But I think because of the relative lack of depth that there is in like internet drama, it's so much easier to just drop off entirely and be like, okay, I do not care about this anymore. But I will stand by that. I think it was interesting at some point. It must have been.
Yeah, it's just not really my thing anymore.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I like that Tony Hawk's video I made is kind of like a video essay, and I like the format, but it's also just been it's like beating a dead horse. There's been a video essay about almost everything now at this point, that finding something unique to talk about is more difficult, and the people who have a unique way to present the information are becoming more scarce. So having a unique topic with a unique way to present it is fine, is good in my opinion, but that's not what's happening. Is it, Captain?
I did think it was really funny back around when like that new age of like video essay format title gimmicks started going around, and there were just a million videos all titled the something video game you've never played, or the most something movie you've never seen before.
That's also the most classic thing ever. Like that's just that goes back like 100 years. That way of talking about things, like that's just like classic marketing that YouTube discovered about 15 years into its existence.
Yeah, it was funny because like one of the things that like I've always been innately interested in the ideas of like crossovers for stuff. So like I got into like versus battles, like death battle, 1 minute melee and stuff on YouTube, a little bit into power scaling and stuff like that. And it was really funny to see the exact same phenomenon happen in that side of like posting on YouTube, because now there's just a million videos titled "This character versus this character is unfair," and that's it. That's just the title.
That's something
like
I'm unfamiliar with.
Videos like that.
I'm so out of I don't really like any YouTube video that is kind of formulaic in that way now. Like with those titles that are just like dropping in and dropping out words. I mean, I've done that. And I've no shame in doing it, but generally when you see that, it's a big red flag, and it's like a warning sign that like, okay, this guy, if this video does well, he's going to make 100 more videos that are like X versus Y. It's rarely the case that they're like, no, I just had that one thing to say. Yeah, I just had that one comparison video, and that's it. I don't have further. I'm not going to capitalize on this.
It's funny seeing it because my first reaction to seeing like the first 100 videos that are titled exactly like that is, if I ever wanted to make a video on any topic like this is the last kind of titling format I would use. It's weird that it just seems to get more popular.
Well, I mean, people complain about things and kind of say that like, oh, I don't like videos that do this, or I don't like this like kind of title that they do or whatever. But people click them, you know. It's like people. There's a lot of things that people say like, oh, this is such a stupid trend, but then people like keep watching it, and like I'm guilty of that too, because sometimes like very simple, very stupid, clickbaity things are actually really effective. You know, like you're like, oh, I've seen this title 100 times, but I do want to know what Lizzo did this time. You know, I do. Regardless of the cheap title, I have got to know the Lizzo situation.
I need to know about Lizzo. I need to know about the Roblox situation.
Yeah, exactly. The Roblox situation is insane.
Yeah, I can spend an hour and a half of my time watching this.
Yeah, 3.5 hours. Good. It must be there must be a lot to say. There must be content worth the time span. Captain Ahab, thanks
Ready
for coming
to be
on.
informed.
Thanks for coming on, sharing your thoughts today, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was nice.
Yeah, nice relaxing phone call. Not I didn't put you in any life-threatening situation today. Maybe next time.
If I'm lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky, if God smiles upon you on that day. Okay.
Felt like this one was lacking a little something.
Don't worry about that. You're the guest here. It's my job to make it filled with joy and laughter. So you just call in. All right, Captain Ahab. We'll talk to you again.
All right. You have a good one.
Aye, aye, Captain. That's what you say to the captain when he talks. Okay. All right. I'm white. It's light. It's bright. I decided to turn that into a poem. Now, the Hell Funny Network, thank you for the $5. He says, hope your week was well. Can't stay longer. Next chance I'm on, I'd like to discuss your gear grinds related to the old net. Enjoying the stream, man. Cheers. Thank you, Hell Funny Network, man. And we will talk to you next time. I hope you're still here. You're probably gone because you said you had to go. But we'll talk to you next time. And Deviant Crustacean, I was just wrapping up the stream, so we'll get you on next time as well. And did I see something else on here? Feel like there was a message there that was pertinent, or maybe it was just people telling me that that my audio was not working. Okay. Deviant Crustacean, I didn't know that was you. I just had to click a thing. You've got a new profile picture and it's looking groovy. I thought that was a new person. I've watched this stream from the very start and it has been filled with those things, says Anna Ray. Yeah, I'm glad everyone's been thrilled, joyed, overjoyed, laughing. All of these things tonight. We are wrapping up the show. Okay. It's been a good time. Pretty good time, didn't we? Me and you in our little domain. We had some laughs. We had some fun. We had some thrills. We had some crazy calls. We had some people with who did we have today? We had a lot of Europeans on today. Poland, Bulgaria. Yeah, actually, we had a relatively few amount of callers. I think there must have been a lot of yapping on those calls. So, ladies and gents, what happens now? Where do we go? What do we do? Well, I need to get really into focus mode with a new video starting tomorrow. Another thing that you can see from me is on the Sam Hyde Show. I know I told you this already. The Sam Hyde Show, you might be aware of it. Look it up on YouTube if you're not. I am editing the ads for that now, and I'm excited. I think it's on Saturday. If all goes to plan, on Saturday there's a new video, and you have to check out the ad. Okay, the ads. I'm enjoying doing them a lot. So that's a little bit of small dude editing you can enjoy in the interim. Stream this time next week. 7 p.m. GMT on Mondays, and 11, what's that? That's like midday Pacific time. And Hanzo's right. Not a single person has called in and immediately screamed the N-word. So that's good, because, you know, not too mad on people doing that. Not too thrilled when people do that, because it's not good for my livelihood. Oh, and also, of course, because it's wrong. I forgot to say that. But yes, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being here, having a good time. We chilled together, right? We had a chill session. Alright, now everybody's smoking up, having those J's, taking heroin now. Key Hank says, unironically, you should make your own art house / studio one day. I am thinking about that myself. Stay tuned. Okay, maybe not now, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but I will have my studio. I've already got a name for it set up. I won't be going anywhere in this lifetime unless I'm stopped by outside forces. Thanks for tuning in, people, and have yourself a pleasant day. Maybe log off the internet and do other things, because this is the only valuable thing on the internet that you'll get to watch, because the only good thing on the internet that there is, this live stream. You heard it here. Okay, talk to you later, folks. Bye bye.